Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of the Coach Me Coach podcast, episode 71. I see I got to fix that up there. Coach jacked it up. I messed it up. By the way, going to slap myself. All right. I'll be jacking it up too. Players mess up too. I appreciate everybody jumping on in. 25 people already in the building. We've literally been on 25 seconds, so I appreciate that. As we come on in, we're going to talk today. My man Dom got the night off. He's working on something special out there. But I got another special guest that's going to bring some real good insight to a lot of topics that we're going to talk about. You know, we're going to definitely talk about Carnell Tate a little bit and the situation with his mother and how that leads to a couple of other things where college football, I believe, is very important. And I'll kind of leave that as we get into the conversation. We're also going to talk about the star system. Coach Hayes been getting his head knocked off because of the WREs that I do and some of the star rankings that I say, and I will dive into that as well. What I do want to say, those WREs stand for Watch, React, and Evaluate, and what it does is that's why I break down all the top talent in the nation, rank them, and all that stuff with my chip system, and so forth and so on. But before we get started, give a quick roll call here. Let me get a thumbs up if you guys can hear me, and we can make sure everybody sounds good, so I'm not talking to cyberspace. Normal guy, what up? Susie Pink in the building. Theme music. Are you listening? Are you listening? All right. Droopy the Great. Coach finally got to catch it live at the beginning. Go Canes. All right. Appreciate it. IMAX always in the building. Here we go. Big B, a.k.a. Samson the King. Coach, what's up with you? Marcus, what's going on, man? Chi-Town Kane, man. All right. Negus, I ain't seen you in a long time, man. Where have you been, brother? Where have you been? And Oscar. All right, we rocking this thing again. Let me go and get this in. He's actually been on the show before, a good friend of mine. We met when I moved up here to Orlando. I thought I was going to check his chin at first. I thought he was trying to do something funky with my players. So I thought Coach had to bring out, put them up. But nah, we just tripping, man. We all good. And we've been good friends ever since, man. Got a lot in common when it comes to this stuff, and we definitely going to make it happen. But like I said, appreciate it. As you come on in, join the team for free. Cost you absolutely nothing. Hit the subscribe button. It is free. And I'm giving out a free notification bell as well. All right. So as soon as you hit the subscribe button, if you hit the notification bell within 5 seconds, it's free. 6 seconds, it costs you $1.99. So might as well jump on that thing and make it happen. Anyway, real quick, let me go ahead and bring my man on in the building. AG Waseem, what's up with you, man? Oh, got him on mute. See, Coach slipping. AG, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Well, welcome back to the show here on Coach Me Coach podcast, where we talk all type of stuff, man. And it's where I coach people, but people coach me as well. And that's what I expect you to do today. Coach me up on some of these things that we got going on. And I know your time is limited. I know you got a show tonight, so I want y'all to check that out.
No, man. We actually not showing tonight. We showing tomorrow. So you got me for as much time as you need.
Oh, so that means we can open up the phone lines on you then.
Yeah, you can do what you got to do. Hey, we can. Right. Tonight you got me.
All right, for the 40. So anyway, I got them for the low, y'all. All right.
For the low. My wife mad at me, so I got all the time in the world.
There it is. Robert Morgan, man. What's up with you, man? He said, what's up, fella? Rob, what's up with you,
man? What up, Rob?
All right. Joe Owen says, I love the unbiased conversation. Real quick, man, breaking news. I think it came out 2 days ago now at this point. Carnell Tate, the Ohio State player down from IMG out of Chicago, by way of Chicago. Mother was caught in a drive-by and ended up passing away. I know you know him just through what you do. What's your thoughts on it? What's kind of, or what have you been hearing in this situation?
You know, it's an active investigation. So, but it's for certain that someone shot and killed a young man's mother. Great kid by all accounts. I just saw him I was up at Ohio State, I want to say like the 13th, 14th of June. He was dominant. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like I was like, wow, he wasn't that far from Marvin Harrison, because Marvin Harrison's a beast. So I expect him to definitely play a lot this year. It's just sad because I know his mom was very active in his recruitment. I'm pretty sure one of the reasons that he even went to Ohio State is because it's closer to home, so his mom could see the games. It's not that far away. It's just a very sad and unfortunate incident. Because she should be her son's going to be playing his first game, so I know that's going to be very emotional for him. In another next 2 months.
Yeah, definitely. And I know fandom comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms, but I hope everybody understands, man, this is a tough time, for
No
him.
doubt.
Which I know it's big news because of who he is, but there are also other players that's going through very similar, or maybe not a death in the family, but other situations. And we got to be a little cautious to that sometimes, man, as a fan base. And I get it. Let me ask you this, and here's why I want to say this. I don't know, and I'm truly asking for education purposes. Um, do you kind of know his situation from a family situation, in the sense of maybe the area they living in, or what kind of happened? Was she the target or not? Well, I don't know.
I don't know, and quite frankly, man, I kind of always try to stay away from that because at the end of the day, as someone who doesn't have their mother, that's enough. What I
Yeah.
mean, whether your mama died from anything, so I know my heart goes out to the young man. I don't even want to read that, she was the target. I don't want to read that she wasn't the target. I just feel so sad for him because, you know, this young man did not envision, 4 days ago
Mhm.
that his mama's not going to be here. And, and speaking to someone whose mama passed away 15 years ago, that's a different kind of hurt. That it's a hurt that you don't get over, and his is even worse because it's senseless. This is a, there's no reason that she should have been shot by a drive-by. Generally, when there's a drive-by shooting, there's nothing positive that comes from that.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. I bring that up because I want to kind of segue into how important NIL is in certain situations. And that's really why I asked, because there are a lot of people saying, well, they should play just for the love of the game and they should do this. And this is straight speculation and hypothetical.
Right.
But I'm saying this to say NILs and things can change situations where you may not be. She could have been an innocent bystander going to the store or whatever the case may be. But maybe these NIL deals where these kids have earned their name, they've earned their name, image, and likeness, and they should be able to reap the benefit off these things and potentially maybe move to different situations. And I'm not saying this about Carnell Tate. I'm speaking in true generalities about what NIL and how it can impact a family just because of maybe these particular types of situations across the board.
Well, I would say that there's two different type of situations that hopefully we can educate your viewers on. NIL is not really the NIL you see. There's collectives at all these schools that are just basically paying these kids to commit to their schools. NIL is name, image, and likeness. So what that means is I'm, AG Waseem, the back of my jersey is Waseem. I could sell Waseem stuff. I could do that. Collectives are like basically saying, hey, we're gonna give you $500,000 to come to school, $100,000 signing bonus, and we're gonna pay you, 12 months, whatever that salary is. I think what you're trying to get to is kids, are getting life changing. I just literally left a kid that's a very high recruit that's going to commit on 20 uh, on Thursday and
Mhm.
July 20th. But the thing is, he has of course the school that don't have the money is telling the kid, hey, you need to come to our school because we love you, and it shouldn't be about the money. And the school with the money's like, hey, damn all that, we're gonna give you $400,000-500,000 a year. Me personally, if I'm a kid, I'm taking the $400,000-500,000 a year. That's just me. I don't love nobody like that, because we all know as former athletes and former players, like when they get you, this because you coach on the college level. The minute you set foot on that campus, you are no longer a recruit anymore. They treat you like they're gonna cuss you out, call you every name under the sun. That same dude that was in your mama's living room, your mommy, I promise you, I'm gonna take care of your baby. I'm gonna treat your baby like he's great. Get to the first practice. That same dude, you sorry, SOB, you put, blah, 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 that's where it goes. So me personally, uh, especially when you start looking at, Power Five, there's a difference between Power Five football, HBCU football. So if you got a kid that he's about to go to a Power 5 school, and my wife is a FAMU Rattler, shout out to the Rattlers, HBCU, but uh, if a kid had a choice between FAMU and he goes to, Alabama, what's the problem? Because I get tired of, because guess what? As much as I love Willie Simmons, a good friend of mine, if Alabama offer Willie Simmons a job today, guess what he's gonna do? It's what I said about Coach Prime, and I said about all those guys. Everybody wants to, go to the highest level, and that's really what it's all about. But kids don't take that money, because the thing is, it's easy for me to say my son, he ain't got to take no money. His mama living good. We got 4 5 bedroom house. Whether he do whatever, mama gonna be all right. But if I'm a kid, there's no way in hell I'm a kid that can change my mama's dynamic. My mama, our lights about to get cut off. I'm gonna take all that
Mhm.
money. I'm gonna take every dime. But that's just
No, no,
me.
yeah, I totally agree, right? And so JR said, after short money, which program can get me to the next level? Here's the only thing I'll rebut in that, JR, the gent, is how do I say this? Really
Just keep it
depend on
real.
the
Hey,
position.
I'm on the show today, and I'll
Yeah,
keep it. I handle
yeah,
that one for you. That y'all can say all you want about. So I tell you what, y'all got a job. So whatever your job is, let somebody. I want you to stay at your job, because after sharp money. I tell you right now, I love my job today. Let somebody offer me 3 4 times my salary. Guess what I'm gonna do? Deuces. I mean, that's unrealistic. So why should
yeah.
a kid? Because the reality is, everyone kills me with this. It's no guarantee that you're gonna make the league. Ain't no guarantee. This football. This ain't basketball. Basketball is the one sport, in my opinion. If someone was smart, I would go get every last one of the top guys and let them go to one HBCU, and they still will win a national championship. But football is not like that.
True story. Yeah, and true story, AG. For example, to JR's point, he said false equivalency, but there's some validity to it, simply because you see guys draft in and draft out come from small schools, Abilene Christian,
Right.
Duquesne, all these different places, right? But it's also go hand in hand. We can also give that hypothetical. But if you are that dog, the team that could get you to the next level gonna be usually offering NIL money too. Now, if I have a choice between, say, for example, I just bring this up. If I'm a quarterback and I have Lincoln Riley, USC recruited me, or I have Oklahoma, where I know the head coach is a defensive guy, Lincoln Riley is the quarterback guy, so forth and so on. Oklahoma's offering me $300,000. USC is offering me $250,000. I may take the $250,000 discount, but I'm still getting paid for it. It's not like it's 0 to
Correct.
300,000.
Correct.
So that's the difference. So yes, I would lose 50,000 in cash for that opportunity, but it's not like, hey, this school offering 300,000 and this other school saying, nah, just come here and get an education, right? It may be that way in some cases, but that's kind of apples to apples versus apples to oranges in big money, no money, if that makes sense.
Right, because of course, if the money, there's no difference between 30, $40,000. But if a school is offering 100,000 and another school is offering 400,000, and if I'm a kid, I'm taking the 400,000. It's not
Gotcha.
even a question, because the thing about it is, hell, your coach might leave you anyway. Like the same coach, like let's just be real. Many coaches, like today, they're at one school, and tomorrow they're at another one. I was at South Florida, went by there and saw Coach Alex Golich yesterday. And by the way, the Cap Alpha Psi's, or we have our conclave. So while I was there, I just said, hey, let me go ahead and say hello to Coach Golich. And while I was there, the defensive line coach said, hey, when I was in school for 5 years, I had 5 different D line coaches. So it happens.
All the
So
time.
yeah,
All the
I mean,
time.
it happens to plenty of kids. So you have a chance to set your family, in a situation. Uh, like I had a school that I had a kid that got, you know, close to $1 million, and the school was upset, and they was offering 200,000, and they really thought he should have went to that school. And the same person that said he should come to that school, and hey, it's about the money. I can't. Guess what he did? He left and went to another school and got more money.
They got more money. And again, So the people, I always say this, the people that are blaming, here's what I don't like. And we talk about rules. And I'm gonna move on to the next subject because this is a perfect segue to that. Don't get mad at the rule followers, be mad at the rule makers. We can't be mad at these kids because that's the rule. You have to be mad at the NCAA for allowing it to be what it is. See, you can't blame a kid for doing what's legal and available. Now, if you want to be mad at the rule makers for saying, hey, you allow the transfer portal to be wide open, you allow to be no ceilings on it for, for whatever reason. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but I'm saying make sure you direct your comments and your concerns to the right entity. That's all I'm saying. Don't direct it to the rule follower, direct it to the rule makers. I always say that. Sometimes we like to get mad at the people that find a loophole in the rule, but you got to be mad at the people who wrote the rule that didn't see the loophole. I hope that makes sense. Because guess what? All of us use loopholes. If you ever had a lawyer, he found a loophole. That's probably why you got off. Let me push to the next piece as it goes into this. I was speaking to some good friends of mine from Florida. They do a very good show. And I reached out to them because a couple of weeks ago, I said that DJ Lagway was a 4-star. Now, when I do my WRE videos, I use On3 system as my consistent resource for the information. I used to use 247. I did it for 2 years. I just decided to use On3 because I have to say this. On3's information is all in one place. Like, they have all of the story, all of it, like everything seems to be right there in one place, easy to navigate. You can see a lot of different articles. You can see what their coaches wrote about them, the interviews they did. Like, they have all of that really in one combined place. And for people don't know, making these videos are not that easy. So you try to streamline as much as possible. So I decided to go to On3. So going back to DJ Lagway, the quarterback recruit and commit for Florida, I said it was a 4-star. Well, the Gator Nation literally bit my head off. Coach, you're a hater. You're a Miami fan. That's why you say he's a 4-star. Well, we all as fan bases pick whichever recruiting service, or I just call them recruiting service, has the highest star. I use On3 for consistency. You understand me? I can't help it that their On3 industry ranking say a 4-star. And so I'm saying that to say this. 247, On3, and Rivals had him as a 4-star.
ESPN as well.
ESPN is the only one that has him as a 5-star.
Right.
Which everybody hates ESPN. Everybody, ESPN sucks. But yeah, ESPN has this young man as a 5-star. I showed that on the show. But for somehow he's a 5-star in the On3 industry. I don't know how they do it. I just report what I see for entertainment value. I say all that to say this. Just put out JoJo Trader, the receiver. I listed him as a 4-star. Right? You look on the list, it's got 247 has him as a 4-star. On3 has him as a 4-star. ESPN and Rival has him as a 5-star. His overall On3 industry ranking is a 4-star. See, that's where I'm lost. ESPN was the only 5-star for DJ Lagway. JoJo Trader has 2 5-stars, but he's a 4-star overall. Like the inconsistency. I say all that to say that the fan base is pissed at me, and I understand. What's your take on this star system? Is it broken? We all know things can get better, but is it broken? There's a difference, right? My car works, but I can make it run better.
I think one of the things that people need to know is ESPN, Rivals, and 247 have individuals that are going in and putting, their opinion of the kid. Now, there's a lot that goes into ESPN because a lot of guys are, politicking for like games. You have the Under Armour game, you have the U.S. Army game, you have the All American Bowl. So a lot of guys are politicking. I used to be in that world because I used to be over the U.S. Army All American game for Florida for some time. It's a whole lot that goes there. Guys are paying money so that their kids can be ranked 4 and 5 stars. It's happened before. I think for the most part, I feel sorry for the guys who are doing the rankings because it's their opinion. Just like if you say a kid is a 4-star kid, that's your opinion. And you're going by what you see on the film because you're not going to every game or whatever the case may be. What I don't like about the star system, prime example, my son, I'll use him as an example because he's a very good example. At one point, he was a four-star recruit. After his sophomore year, he's supposed to be all that. His junior, goes to a school. He doesn't get the ball thrown to him. He goes down. And when I talked to him about how he went down, oh well, he didn't get the ball. His numbers weren't a certain way. Okay, I respect that. Well, he goes in his senior year, and he has one of the greatest seasons in Florida football for a receiver at 1,500 yards. Uh, you know, uh, 20 touchdowns, but he still was a three-star. So that's the kind of stuff, the inconsistency. If you're telling me that a kid is going to be a three-star because he didn't have production, and then he has production, and then he's still a three-star, those are the things that I talk to a lot of guys here in Florida about, and not just about my son. About I have a kid that has 75 offers, 75 more offers than any kid. He's the only kid in America that has every Power Five offer, and he's a four-star. How's he for if you're saying it because they're going to tell you it's about the offers, they're going to tell you it's about the production, they're going to tell you about the height and weight. Well, I get it. If that's your parameter that you're using, okay. But then if this kid is 6'4", 320, he has like 15 sacks and he has more offers than anybody. So how is he a four-star? So it's no consistency. And I just literally had that conversation recently because the thing about on three, they basically just take the and 247 does kind of the same thing. That's the 247 composite score. Because 247, you got two scores. Because there's a 247 ranking, and they do a composite of all three. And then like I said, on three does the same. But on three is the difference between on three is all automated. Like on three is literally all automated. Everything's done by AI. So there's no consistency. And I think one of the things that would help is you know they need to figure out what the matrix is going to be. But I would love to see, you know, guys who actually played football or coach football. I would love to see what those guys would say because I'm with you. When you look at the film, you are what your film says you are. It really, I mean, I get that because my son's film as a junior was terrible. So that's why I didn't trip because I understand college coaches, they're going to look at film. You've been a college coach. You looked at film and, and that's what everybody goes by.
So to that point, AG, right? Like I was watching Shannon Terry, who's I guess he's the CEO of On Three, and he was on High Top, I believe, show on it's a Gator show, and they had some issues with something happened with the Gators, and he came on to defend himself. But I learned on there that some of the matrix or some of the things that influence ranking is what college coaches may say. Here's where I think the biggest issue is, brother. Nobody knows what the ingredients are. And that's what creates consistency. But here's the problem. If you went to McDonald's every day and the Big Mac tastes different every time you get it, most people wouldn't go because you don't know what to expect. And it's the same thing. Like you just said, I got it. Now, some of the lower tier kids, I understand just because you can't get to them. But we talking about there's nowhere in the world there should be a discrepancy with a kid like JoJo Trader or a DJ Lagway. These are highly touted kids, right? And there's such a discrepancy. I think DJ Lagway was ranked like 46 by one recruiting grade and like 18 by another. That's a huge differential right there.
Oh, I've had kids rank 23 on one and 170 on another one. So I've had that, before. And I think it is crazy. And so, but that's their opinion. And I'm okay with it being your opinion because I understand that everybody has different opinions. And the problem is the way the star system is ranked, there can only be 32 5-stars because what they're saying is that.
But that's 247, right? That's 247.
Right,
Or is
247.
that all
Yeah.
of them?
All of them, because what they're saying is if you're a 5-star, they're saying that you are going to be a first-round draft pick. That's basically what they're saying. And then 3 stars, I could make anybody a high 3-star. That's up to me as the ranking guy. And like literally, I can make whoever I want to be the highest 3-star and all that kind of stuff. So it's like you hit it on the nose. Like I said, whatever the matrix is going to be, then it just needs to be out there for everybody to see because you can't say in one breath, oh, the kid needs stats. Then the kid gets stats, and then you say, "Oh, well, he has to be 5'8" or 5'11." Then you find out he's 5'11, but he still doesn't go up. Whatever your matrix is, that's what your matrix is. Because college coaches, you know this, college coaches have a matrix. They have, if you go to some schools, they'll have on the board, I need for them. I need all my wide receivers to be 6'3". He gets a
Prototype sheet.
5
Yeah.
6'3". Like basically what you're doing on your rankings. You have a ranking for foot speed. You have a ranking for height. You have a ranking for size. That's generally what college coaches do. You know that because
Exactly, and
you've
really
been,
that's
you've
what
been a
it comes
college
from.
coach.
It's
Right,
it's called a prototypical sheet, right? What do you
right.
want out of the prototypical dude? This is what we want. Now, are we willing? It's almost like a sliding scale, like the SAT, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same thing. What he lacks in size, he better make up for in speed,
It's speed, correct.
right? If he's slow, he better be 6'4".
Right.
That would just be a saying. I remember that in the movie. Coach, if he's slow, he better be 6'4".
Yeah, no question.
I remember them saying it. And so it's a sliding scale, right? And so I get that. And back to the shameless plug of the chip system. Y'all go check it out. I actually rank these guys here and I rank them with chip. Blue chip, to me, that's elite. I don't think there's 32 elite players. Might be 32 first round picks. I'm not saying that. But when I look at elite, I look at a guy that checks every box. Like he built out of a
Height,
machine.
space. Like he's
Jeremiah
a
Smith.
builder player. He's a
Jeremiah
builder
Smith.
player.
Jeremiah Smith is a perfect example, right? 6'3"
Yeah,
kid, 215 in high school, plays wide receiver, run like a deer, jump out
yeah.
the gym, outrun each. That's a wide receiver that's elite. Now let's go back to JoJo Trader. Can he play? Most definitely. I want him on my team any given Sunday, Saturday, or Friday. Take him on Wednesdays for 7-on-7. But he's 5 or 6 foot, right? He's 6 foot. That's not elite height. It's not. That's average height, because the average height, and that's one thing On3 did too that helped me decide to pick them. They have a bar graph. If you go under scouting, it shows they have taken the average of the last 300 college players at per position and the weights, last 300, and it gives you an average. The average is about, for wide receivers, 6 foot, 185 to 190-ish. And it gives a percentage, how much under they are or over. So let's say if he's 5'11", he might be in a 98 percentile, like right there. But let's say if he's 6'3", he might be at 104%. So he's over by 4% of the average. That's how I look at a lot of, because we know what the averages are. That type of stuff. So people are, well, how, coach? Guys, 4.4 is extremely fast. People bring up the young man I just did in Terry Bussey. Terry Bussey is extremely fast. He's a 4.41. That's super fast, but it's not elite speed. It's not elite. It is super fast, but elites is when you start breaking the sub 3s, the 10-1s, the 10-2s. Am I right or wrong in that, AG? Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
No, 4.41 is pretty elite in high school, because one of the problems that we have is we're judging high school kids based off of
Exactly.
off of
Exactly.
NFL type guys. So if you run a
No.
4.41 in high school, you're probably going to be in the 4.3s by the time you get through with college,
Stop. But
if you
that's
don't get
exactly,
hurt.
hold on. You're right. And that's why I rank them as I see them today. The
Right.
reason I don't want to project, because when you project, it becomes subjective. And that's
Oh,
why
no.
for my ranking, I strictly, like I tell them, I'm ranking you off of what I see today. I'm not ranking
Listen,
you of what you're going to be, because now that's where you get into muddy waters, right?
yeah, well, see, like you hit it on the nose. Like the track, like if a kid is running a 10.3, that in high school, that is elite speed. And the
Yes.
reality is, it's not too, like we just had the state track meet here in Florida. I don't think one kid ran under 10.3. So I mean, so what people don't understand is, you know, uh, that's elite. And guys are going to get faster when they go to college because they're lifting weights. They're probably stretching more than they've ever stretched before. They're going to get
Training
faster. They're going
properly.
to be stronger.
Yeah.
Get training properly. Unless you're like a true track guy in high school, you're not running like, because a lot of these times they're inflated. Guys are going to camps. The dude at camp is their 7-on-7 coach. He tells the world he runs a 4. I know a coach personally, and it's the statute of limitations is out. But there's a kid that ran. The kid came off a knee surgery, and he wrote down that kid ran a 4.51, but he was a 6'2" corner. And guess what? He had no offers, had never started a varsity game, and that kid ended up going to like a major Power 5 playing in a national championship because the coach wrote that down. So like, and when you go to these camps, there are a lot of guys that's all they do. They write down, so it happens. But
Yeah,
I like to watch film personally. The film, or if I could see him live, because that's the only thing too. Live can really tell you way more about a kid than even film can. When you're live, you watch a kid and you like, wow, he's definitely better. Like you brought up a name today, and we talked about him. I saw Carnell Tate live. I had never seen him really live. I watched that boy at practice. Like he's really really good. I'm like
yeah,
he's very elite. So
yeah.
I mean, live makes a difference because on film you can't see everything all the time.
I totally agree. Your eyes become the camera. And so back to what I was saying, because I want that to be clear too about and that's where fans get caught up, and I understand. But when I do the little chipping, it's all for entertainment value.
Right.
But I literally rank them on what I see. Because if I felt like when I started doing that, I was like, if I get subjective, then it gets muddy, right? You can't height, weight is not subjective. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Now,
Right.
it may be wrong on that board, but that ain't my fault. I didn't do that. That's what it is. Right?
Right. That
Speed.
has nothing to do with that.
Speed is not subjective. That's what the number says. And then effort pops off the tape, right? You can look at effort. You can actually judge that and quantify effort. You can see when the dude's walking, blah, blah, blah. The last two, which is definitely fundamentals and technique. If I just see a guy come out of the defensive line just running through, not using any technique, that doesn't mean he's an elite defensive lineman to me.
Can be.
He's just bigger, faster, stronger. And there are many guys in high school that truly get away with that because they are BFS. They are bigger, faster, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then intangibles, is he doing things on this film that coaches don't coach?
We
And
had that
you can see
conversation all
that on
the
this
time.
film.
We had
Yeah.
that conversation all the time. Like, I'm an intangible guy.
Yeah.
I'm truly. I want to see your tape and be like, damn, like that's what I need to say. Wow, something
Terry
like
Bussey.
right. That's what I need to say. If you do something to make me or if you make me laugh on like where I'm like, look, hey, but if I
Unbelievable.
yeah, what I seen, like if you make me feel like who you playing against is little Timmy, then that's different. I mean, so we all know like Poe Little Timmy, when you making guys seem like Poe and Timmy, just like I never forget. I'm looking at a film with a matter of fact, I think it was my son film dealing with you. He made a movie. You said, "Oh, knee juice, aisle 5." I
Yeah.
said, boy, I say, those are the things, when you look at film, that there should be something that stands out. You're like, wow, he got a strong arm. Oh, that kid is fast. Oh my God, look at the hit he put on that guy. Oh, he pancaked him. Oh, you watch how he went. Like those are things that that have to stand out on a highlight film.
I'm gonna give you one right now. Not because he went to Miami. I even said this in the video. I don't care if he went to FIU, FSU, USC, even with the ESU out there where the program is where Omar what's his name played. Omar Epps was playing football for the program.
Right.
Artavius Jones. Listen to me, AG Waseem. Are you listening to me? Are you listening?
I'm listening, Coach. Like, matter of fact, let me make sure I can hear.
All right, I'm gonna whisper. This dude is 6'4", 310 pounds. That's what they got it listed.
Right.
The man out there running tight end reverses, corner routes. Listen to me. He from Bluntstown, Florida. He running. Now it's a small town, but regardless, the man running corner routes. Hold up, excuse me. They even put him at the XY receiver to run the jailbreak screen.
Let's see. You couldn't tell me that.
Picking up a fumble at an interior defensive line and took it back 70. Holla. And you didn't even watch the tape, and you saying, So imagine when you watch the tape. Real quick before I push on, let me get these donos. I'm sorry, chat. I didn't mean to ignore you, but that conversation was getting great. Here we go. Bishop Newkirk, $5. Keep doing your thing. Bishop Newkirk, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Wastebro, excuse me, FSU, I like your content. Hope y'all beat TMU. We definitely gonna beat TMU. We going 12-0. Bishop Newkirk again for the $2 smile. Coach Hayes, you're blessed. P.S. Gumbo on. Oh, you got the gumbo? Stir that thing slow now. Don't
Oh,
mess it
hey
up
man,
for the.
hey man, make sure you know who got the best gumbo that you had so far. Make sure you let that man know who got a strong gumbo now.
Oh my God. King Kyle, stop it. 6 foot is not average height. I'm not talking about the humans. I'm not talking about the population.
Football players.
I'm talking about Power 5 wide receivers. Power 5 wide receivers, King Kyle. Stop it. It's always the sky blue. No, it's not. It's really light blue. All right. Look at
Oh
this.
my
Johnny
God.
Green. Johnny Green. Coach, I just got through watching the WRER TV show. Boy, you had me rolling. You said, dude, 285 plus running quarter routes. And they got him listed at 285. Appreciate you, Johnny Green. Bro, somebody said he done got bigger than that. They haven't updated this stuff. But again, I have to keep it consistent. I go with what I see. Anyway, like this. So here's my
Oh my
deal,
goodness.
right? Real quick before you break that news. Chris Johnson Jr. ran better than a 10-3 twice. See, I want to make sure, I want to say this before I push to the last thing here. I want to make sure I said this, AG. The reason I'm very tight on elite, because I want to leave it just what that is. Elite means there's only a few that's doing it. It's not a handful, a few. Right? Look at these Pro Bowlers today, how they're complaining how all these people are getting in the Pro Bowl just because. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to make, because again, we know how the 707 circuit went. Everybody started a new team. What they said, the elite this, the elite that. Not my dog. My dog started his. What he called his? Certified dogs. Show him your shirt. Show him your shirt. He didn't say elite dogs. He said certified dog. So that's my point, is that I wanted to make sure that we didn't throw the word elite around very loosely when it came
Everybody's
to this.
elite now. See, the problem is just like 707. There was a time. See, I'm old enough to remember 707 before we even changed the name to Certified Dogs, where there was one team in every city. So that was elite because you had to be one of the top 22 players. Now, if you just like even in Miami, there was only one team in Miami. Now you know that team was fire, but there was one
Literally.
team in
That's their
Orlando.
name.
Oh no, but Fire wasn't the best team. It was South Florida
Oh, yeah.
Express back
It
then.
sure
Oh, it wasn't even a question. And then because they would have they messed it up because they would have 500 kids in their trial. So Florida Fire went over there and was like, "Hey, we'll take your backups," and messed around and beat them. That's what happened. But and then we beat South Florida Express, so we made a name for ourselves. And then the thing that messed up 707 is, and I'll tell anybody this, is when the shoe companies got involved, when Adidas came in, and I'm part of it because I'm the first place Adidas did, gave out free cleats and all that other stuff. I thought it was helping. I'm just trying to worry about kids getting shoes, but then everybody it turned into AAU. Just like if you go to everybody's an elite team, like you say. So I get it.
Yeah, real quick. I want to give a quick dono look here. Oh, Coach out here slipping. Real quick dono out here. Appreciate it, man. From Stevie Canes for the $10. Says, great information, bro. Wish you much success. Thank you so much there, Stevie Canes. Thank you so much for that, man. All right. Let's get to this next piece. Let's kind of transition here. Coach Brent Venables is in hot water along with, well, he got himself in 2 pots of hot water lately. I'll include maybe the Pat Narduzzi. We're talking about people who have publicly gone out and said something, and we're going to talk about negative recruiting. What is negative recruiting? And I'm going to say this, and I'll let you run with it because this is truly your field more than mine. I like looking at players. You delve deep into recruiting.
Right.
When I think of negative recruiting, I don't think of if you say, hey, how many championships that school won last year. That's not negative recruiting to me. I believe that's a fact. Like, negative recruiting is you trying to say, hey, why would you want to go to that school knowing that Coach AG is about to leave and you really don't have any facts on that? Hey, why would you want to go to that school when they're not going to, when you're talking falsehoods? If you tell me, hey, look, baby, we got 6 championship rings. I put 25 dudes in the NFL. I did this. We got Bros Award winner. We got Biletnikoff winner. We got this. They don't have none of that. To me, I don't look at that as negative recruiting. I look at that as a comparison. Negative recruiting is when you are speaking falsehoods or when you are just straight lying to try to gain a player in that sense. Am I on track, off track? Talk to me.
To some degree, I think that negative recruiting is a little bit more like. I'll give you an example. 'Cause, things that I've seen. I won't say the other school. I've just heard people say, "Oh, why would you send your kid to Miami? It's the hood down there." Now, anybody who doesn't know, Coral Gables is nowhere near the hood. I mean,
Yeah.
like your kid is like almost in, like Beverly Hills type situation. I've been to Coral Gables over the last 12 years, and I've seen, you know, nobody ever that would look hood wise. Seriously.
No, they got curbstones, dog. They don't have street
Right.
sign. Now, you
Right.
can go over to the Grand Avenue and it get a little
Right.
shaky, baby.
Right.
But the school within itself is not. Duke
Nah,
is more of a hood than Miami.
right. No question. Things like, you'll hear a coach say, to me, it's just like, I always equate things, and my wife, who's looking at me crazy, but I always equate things to
Hey,
like dating. If let's say me and Coach Hayes see a young lady and we both think she's fine and we both gonna holler at her,
I
Coach
got her.
Hayes he needs to talk about Coach Hayes. I need to talk about Coach AG. I should never say, "Oh, Coach Hayes, light skin, Hampton product, you from Virginia, blah, blah, blah." He don't need to be like AG, old Kappa man, always in red and white. There's that to me is negative recruiting. And that goes on, he's gonna, because this is one of the biggest ones out there. Oh, he's gonna lead a school. They'll tell a kid that, you know. Yeah, for real. That
Now,
he's
to
gonna
me, that's negative. Right. That's
right,
negative. When you
right,
talk about
right.
people. If I want to compare championship rings and I
Right.
want to
No, no.
compare.
I was at the man. I had a situation. I have a kid. Well, I guess I can say it now. I'm at the house. He's going to Clemson. He's at Clemson rather, but Clemson and Florida State. Clemson came to the house early, and they was a little late. Florida State came, and I'm trying to smooth everything. Florida State was like, "Deck it, we going in." So everybody ended up meeting right at the door as Clemson was leaving. So Dabo did some cold stuff. Dabo was like, "Yeah, it's nothing like these championships that we had right in front of him." It was cold, but it was real. Like how you gonna get mad? This was right after Dabo them literally had just won a national championship. So how
Come
you
on.
gonna get mad at that? You know, so my thing is that's not negative. It may be a butthole thing to do, but it wasn't negative recruiting. And
Now, if he would have said, see these rings right here, they ain't gonna never get one of these. That's
correct,
negative
correct,
recruiting.
right. So I think schools, and I would tell any recruit that would be the telltale sign because you're not confident in yourself. Like, I've never in my life, that's why I say date, I always use real life dating situations. Any man that goes up to another woman to say something bad about another man, you basically have validated. I've had women to deal with me when I was single because a dude went up and hated on me so bad. So I have a kid right now that's gonna go to a SEC school over another SEC school, all because the one SEC school literally was talking so bad about the other one.
Hey, G, you set yourself up, but I let you slide
Yeah.
on that one. Listen,
Hey man, it
listen.
is.
I let
It's the way it goes.
I let your 4 of spades win that book right there.
Hey
I'm just
man,
letting you know.
hey man, you can bring out the ace and key. That's just how it goes.
Nah,
Like
you come on.
let your women
Come on.
tell the women to tell you. Like
Hey,
when
G,
think about it.
Hey, G, you've been married 75 years. You talking about when I was single. So you telling stories from
Yeah.
75 years ago.
And they still apply. That ain't nothing changed. Hey, they real. One thing about women and men, it don't ever change. Like I tell my wife about my daughter and my son, it's their time now. But the game don't change. Just the players do.
Listen, if y'all want to really see about AG Waseem, go check out my person player prospect. I actually interviewed his son, Assad Waseem, who's at Colorado.
This hater.
Go check out. This is his own flesh and blood.
The hater. Like
No, I got the hater tag. Can't nobody take that from me. I earned that this week.
nah, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about him.
No,
He's a hater.
I know I'm taking it from him and I put it on my show. I am
Nah,
the hater. But
Nah,
I'm
you
just
can't
if
you
y'all
can't hate
want to
like
if
that.
y'all want to see, don't take Coach Hay, don't take Albie Shore verse for it. Go take Christopher Williams over there. Saw Christopher Williams Waseem. He look like
But now we can't be Christopher Williams because he did too much stuff with Puffy. So we can't be Christopher Williams. So we don't get down like that.
Oh,
But
I
what he
thought you
did
looked like
do,
him a little bit. My
but
bad.
what he did do is, and you can't blame him. Nobody wants to, think, I'm married to the man mama. So I can't be a player. I understand. I mean, I understand that. No man don't want their daddy to be a player. You married to the man mama. Who wants that? So I get it. That's why I let him slide. Like do you want you want your mama dating a player?
Somebody finna get what? Get out of here with that.
Right. So I get it. I'm gonna let him have it. I mean, I'm gonna let him have it. But
Jump
he's definitely not a player at all.
So I'm
But
gonna listen. If y'all want to go see a great interview, seriously, not
it
just
is
because I
an
did
interview.
it, but it was a great interview. We had a good time about it and so forth. And we're gonna dive into a little bit of Asar here in a second. But back to Brent Venables about negative recruiting. Let's kind of now go back to what he said. He was in a. I wish I had it.
It was a
pulled
big
up.
wasn't it Big 12? Wasn't it Big 12 media day?
Yeah, but previous to that, he said something
Right.
in regards to Mario Cristobal.
Right.
I believe they went 5. No, they went 6-6 or something,
No, they
or
went 7-5.
7-5.
Right.
Knowing that, again, I just looked up Oklahoma's record. I don't think they lost 2 games in the past 10, 15 years, somewhere in there like
Right.
that. So he comes in, great standing. Now, true enough, Lincoln Riley did take some players, but he didn't lead a cupboard bare by no stretch of the imagination.
Maybe 2-3 players.
Right. He took he took some main ingredients, right? But you still shouldn't have been in that boat as Oklahoma.
You took Caleb, and
Yeah.
but you brought in
Mario Williams.
another kid.
Yeah, you took Caleb Williams, took Mario
You took
Williams,
Mario.
and maybe 1 or 2 more guys that I just
Yeah.
don't think them offhand. But let me go to say this. So he goes, somebody just brings that up, and I'm really paraphrasing here. He says, "Oh, Mario Cristobal." He said he didn't say their name. He said, "Well, at least we didn't, go 5-7 and lose to Middle Tennessee State." See, he didn't say so. Here we go. That's negative recruiting because he specifically said Middle Tennessee State. Now, if he didn't say, we didn't have a below 500 record, and we lost to some group of 5 teams. Now it's almost like being in the law room, right? I never specifically said, but once you give these particular details, it all adds up.
Well,
You said
I
5
don't
and
think it
7.
was negative recruiting. I think he just was hating because he's not even in the same league as though that's just straight hate. Because he's not even he's trying to put himself above, like, because him and Mario Cristobal, they came in at the same time. So he's basically trying to put himself ahead of Mario Cristobal.
By a game.
Which by 2 games. But it's just hate. And and he said something about Coach Prime, and I like the way Coach Prime, responded. A lot of guys have said stuff about Coach Prime, Pat Narduzzi,
Did a
a
video
lot
on
of
that.
yeah. And the reality of it is, coach your own team.
Sure.
I mean, we've been through that even in high school. I will say this: you had a big rival back in the day. I mean, a big rival,
Yeah.
but you never said nothing, negative. Like to a certain degree, those are conversations that you would have in private. But you would never go out in public and say, "Oh, this." Nobody does that. That's just hating at that point. And the
Correct.
sad part is that he has why does he care what Mario Cristobal does or what Coach Prime does? Because he don't have to play against either one of them ever. He won't play neither one of them unless they all in the bowl game. They don't.
Correct.
Neither one of them is on the schedule, so I don't even know why he cares. And I know
And to
Coach Venables. I know Coach very well. My like I said, my godson played under him for 3 years. I started for him for 3 years at Clemson. So I've known him well. I know Coach Cristobal well, and of course I know Coach Prime. So I'm just shocked that honestly, I'm shocked that Coach Venables did that. Because he generally is if that had came from Lane Kiffin, okay, we know that's how Lane is. But for that,
right.
right. But for that to come from Coach Vernon, it makes me feel like he's feeling the heat and the pressure. Seriously, because that's not even the kind of guy he's ever been known to be.
Well, of course, right. So yes, they were 6-7. They were 6-6, won the bowl game.
Right.
So to that point, and Coach Venables got them beady eyes. They always tell you about people with beady eyes. Watch them. But anyway, I said that to say, people don't know what that HC chair feel like, boy. You know how many conversations Do you think at any point Oklahoma came to Brent Venables and said, you know what, man, you get him next year, coach? No, you want to know why? Because you are literally, in the words of Coach Prime, you wrecked the Ferrari and it's smoking, dog. We brought you here to keep this train rolling.
Oh, if he have another 6 and 7 year this year, he might not make it into the next season. Especially with them getting ready to go to the SEC. I can pretty much guarantee you if he has a 6 and 7 season, he probably won't make it to the next season.
And you want to know why that's smart? Unlike, I just say, let me go back. Unlike my Miami Hurricane team, we held on too long to guys. I have to say this. I always give Ohio State credit when it came to coaching hire. Ohio State has none of their coaches have ever lost their job because of their record, except Luke Fickell. All of the coaching changes have happened because
Luke was never the coach at Ohio State.
1 year.
Oh, that he was the interim, but yeah.
1 year. He had 1 year. He was the coach.
You sure about that?
That's my point. They ain't play no games with him. Go pull it up. Luke Fickell had 1 year as a coach, and they got rid of him faster than Jimmy the Cricket. And that's what. Yeah. They ain't played no games with Luke Fickell. They said, my man, you ain't coming here to mess this up. You got to go, and I mean right now.
Yeah, that's what he was the interim head coach.
He was the head coach.
No, he was the interim head coach in 2011. He was the interim head. I'm looking at it right now on Wikipedia. He was the interim head coach.
They called him the interim. Yeah, but he was there for the whole season. So, okay,
yeah, no,
if you didn't want to name him the head coach.
He had been in the program since 2002 because he played there. But he took over, and I want to say, wasn't that when they fired?
That's after they got rid of. That's after they got rid of Urban Meyer.
No, it wasn't Urban. It was the other guy.
Jim Tressel.
Yeah. So when he came in, I want to say it was so late in the season when they fired Tressel because of the whole. What was that? The tattoo stuff, or like the tattoo parlor with them boys winning, and like the same thing that NIL is doing right now. That's basically how he lost his job. Like those boys went in and they sold those rings for beating whoever, and that's how he lost his job.
But what I was saying, but didn't Luke Fickell coach that? Even though it may have been a late hire, kind of like what Northwestern is probably going to go through.
Yeah, that's basically. It was kind of similar to that. That was the 2011 season. Let's see what since we here, we might as well see what their record was. 2011,
6 and 7.
Yeah, and he knew that he was going to be. It was just interim anyway because he stayed there 3 more years. So it wasn't like they got rid of him. He was already because he's an Ohio State guy, played there, nose guard, all that kind of stuff.
But to my point, what I'm saying is they didn't say, you know what, just because
we're gonna give a chance.
We're gonna give you a chance. Now you had this 1 year because it was late. Man, get your behind. No more. Now if the coach want to keep you, the new coach want to keep you, your boy want to keep you, cool. But after that, nah, we ain't playing them games with you, my man. You got the deal. So anyway, I'm going on to say that. That's why I give them credit. Because they don't play around when it comes to the hires, and they found someone to keep the train rolling. Now, after Urban Meyer, then they got Ryan Day.
Right.
They just got to get over the hump, but they got to get it going.
Oh, the sad part is if Coach Day don't win, man, I'm telling you right now, let Coach Day lose to Michigan this year. If Coach Day lose to Michigan 3 years in a row, man, please, they're gonna be calling for his head.
But who do you replace that guy with?
I don't know, but I bet you they replace him with somebody. I mean, because that's just how they roll. I agree. I like Coach Day. I think he's a phenomenal coach. Coach Harbaugh is one of the last two. Because think about it, they was almost ready to fire Coach Harbaugh because he couldn't beat Ohio State. Like up there, man, I tell people all the time, that's a real rivalry up there. The only other rivalry, like Clemson and South Carolina, is a real rivalry. But I understand what you're saying. Like I think that a lot of schools do wait too long to get the next guy. I felt that way about my Dallas Cowboys. Like I think that at some point you got to let it go. And I think that hey, I'm a Cowboy fan, but at some point you got to let it go. So I do agree. Ohio State They don't play around like that, and I think they do because they're all about winning. So we'll see.
I agree, and I just have to be honest. I understand. Now, the problem with Michigan is Michigan was losing other games, and they were losing the
Right.
Ohio State. Ohio State just losing the Michigan game. But in all honesty, I have to say this, right? And you know my situation. If I'm gonna lose the game, at least they're gonna be in the top 4 playoff. They're gonna be in the playoff run, right? So it ain't like I lost it to, for example, it ain't like when TCU lost to Kansas State. And then, you know what I'm saying? And we both sit on the couch. But anyhow, so then those comments are now made from Brent Venables to now Coach Prime, and you brought those up. So he makes those comments in regards to, I gave my guys time and and I waited 12 months before I did what I had to do. To your point, I think he's a person, is what we call it hating, but I'll use another term. You are literally trying to expose or throw somebody else under the bus to deflect the attention and spotlight off of you, because you're trying to make an excuse for why you weren't successful. You're trying to say, well, look, I gave these guys 12 months to really show me what they had. That's why we had this record. I didn't do what that guy did and just get rid of the entire team. Now, to the average person, or maybe those suits up in the A building, they don't really follow Colorado. Maybe they don't understand. So they're like, I've heard the noise about it. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Coach Brent Venables. They don't know the real detail. Like, this dude had to get rid of those guys. That team was a group of 5 team, AG. Colorado had a group of 5 program because only, I think, 3 or 4 of those kids that left, that they left and went to the transfer portal, that left out of Colorado, maybe 5 of them went to another Power 5. The rest of them went group of 5 or lower.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, my son plays at Colorado. For those who don't know, I do a lot of recruitment in Florida as far as helping kids get to school. So I pretty much know all the Power 5 and Group of 5 schools. One thing I'll say is this: to me, I'm the Bill Parcells crew, especially when it comes to college football. You got to let these coaches. If you want them to cook the meal, you got to let them do the groceries. Period. The reality of it is, Coach Prime felt that he needed to replace guys. You got to let him do it his way. I'm with Coach Hayes. There definitely was a lot of kids. There are some kids that could play on that team, so I'm not going to say everybody was just a duck. But there was definitely one in 11. Let you know that there had to be some changes that need to be made. And the thing about Coach Prime that I admire, had he told you what he was going to do. See, my problem with Coach Venables, if that was what you was going to do, you should have said that when you first got in. I'm going to give everybody 12 months and the guys that proved themselves, but you didn't do that. The only reason you're saying that now, because remember, Oklahoma was picked to win the conference. The only reason you're saying that now is because you went 6 and 7. What I admire about Coach Prime, he keeps it real. Like, hey man, he runs like, hey man, you can say what you want, but he keep it totally real. Hey, this is what I'm gonna do. Hey, it is what it is. And so you can't get mad at somebody from being real with you. He told the kids straight up. What'd he say? I'm coming to town with my own luggage, and it's Louis. So he told the kids. So if you don't feel you Louis or Louis equivalent, a lot of kids cut themselves. A lot of kids left. I don't think Prime ran nobody out. And I'm sure there was some kids he told, hey, and that, hey, you just ain't gonna ever play here. Like that. The thing that people don't understand is this. And let's make sure that everybody's clear on this. Because Prime is a new coach, he could tell the whole team, hey, I'm not going to, you're not gonna ever play on this football team. But those kids could have stayed and got their degree. That's a new rule that NCAA implemented. So every last one of them kids, right. So every last one of them kids could have stayed and got a degree if that's what they wanted. So those kids decided to leave because they want to play. And you can't get mad at a kid for that. If somebody's telling you, hey man, you ain't gonna never play here, why would you stay anyway if you really want to play football? I mean, I wouldn't. So it's not like Prime, like the way they try to paint out is that he just did the kids wrong. He kept it real with them. And as a kid, I would rather you tell me, just imagine if you one of them kids at Oklahoma.
You are the only participant in the
I'm
conference.
sorry. I'm going.
Uh, Imagine if you one of the kids that's in Oklahoma and and Coach Venables let you stay a year. Let's say you was a freshman and he lets
Mhm.
you stay a year. Now you done finish your sophomore year, but now he gets rid of you. Guess what? Now you have to transfer. Now you might have been in your major, so now you got to take more classes. I'd rather you keep it real with me up front. But I think that one of the things that I hear people talk about it, because Coach Prime is such a polarizing figure right now. You have guys that have full podcasts that are totally dedicated to Coach Prime. You know, I see people getting on you, because you made comments about what you think the schedule's going to be. And I'm sitting there like, my son is at Colorado. I promise you, I hope they go 15-0. But the reality is, Coach Prime got a lot of rebuilding to do. I know that Coach Prime is going to be successful, and they're going to win more than people give them credit for. I guarantee you, they win more than what Vegas is talking about. But people, you're not a fanboy. You have a show, you have shows that have nothing to do with Coach Prime. You are actual, like my son said at PPP, you are actual most people don't know your credentials. They just think you some guy that just got on a podcast and a Coach Hayes football, not realizing that you actually, were at a college university. Not realizing that you actually coach with Mario Cristobal. People don't understand that. So you have a knowledge of football, and just like everything else, you have your opinion. Hey, my son is at Colorado. If somebody was willing to bet me money that Colorado is going to go 12-0, I would take that bet that they wouldn't. And not because I think man, do you know how hard it is to win every game in the football season? We've seen it before. Teams like Alabama lose to Auburn, but then win the national championship. I tell people if everybody's patient with Coach Prime, he's gonna shock the world because he's a winner. His mentality is about winning. Coach Prime is not expecting. He's like, it's just like if you get two guys playing spades and you got a partner. Hey, I done seen people with less hands win spade games. So I guarantee you, Coach Prime, just by his attitude, he gonna win some of these games that they don't think he gonna win. And what I admire about Coach Prime is he keep it a real. He keep it a buck. He's always kept it a buck with me. So I can't get mad. Like I told my son, when he's up there, one thing about Coach Prime, he ain't gonna babysit you. He ain't gonna kiss you behind. He don't give a damn who you are. Hey, he trying to win.
He's trying to win. And
Yeah.
and I'm not going to go down that road. We're going to definitely talk. But to that point, he's here to win, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I look at it through a different lens because I do know some of the things that the average fan base doesn't understand, and I understand that. You know what I mean? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going down that road. I've had plenty of days of it, and like you said,
Oh
I'm not.
no, you need to go on down the road, man. Hey, man, I'm on the show today, so we gonna keep it real. You can go
All
on
right,
down the road. Let's go.
well, we going like the odds. Then what is it? The
Yeah,
Wiz?
it is what it
Get
is.
on
Let's go
down
down.
the road.
Yeah, let's
All right,
get it.
well, let's start this off. Well, let me open this up, and I'm not gonna. I really don't because I'm tired. But there was a comment that was made that says, "I have it somewhere."
Yeah, you got to if it's the one I think it is, that's just ridiculous. If it's the one
Hold on,
comment I think it is, that's crazy.
hold on. I have it somewhere. Let me see if I can pull this up. I have this comment somewhere. Let me see if I can pull this comment up right quick. Let me see if I can, right? And I say to myself, okay, hey, that's 6-6. No big deal. I think that's a fair assessment. It's definitely more than what Vegas gave you. I'm trying to think. It's definitely more than what Vegas gave you.
And I'll tell you right there, if
And
Coach Prime won 6 games, he should be coach of the year. I'm not just saying that. Not because
AG,
I
stop.
think they'll win more.
You know what I'm telling you to stop? Because they're gonna say, see, Coach Hayes brought him on here and told him what to say because I said the same exact thing. So
The
don't
bottom line is
take
you
my
go from 1-11 to 6-6, and I think he's going to do better than that. So what I'm saying is, man, he's doing it his way. I think you know this because you're a football coach. One thing I will say, those boys are gelling. Those boys, they have a lot of
Mhm.
love for each other, and that's half the battle in football. Football is a team sport. It really is. Like people discount, because we've seen superstar teams that they couldn't win.
Right.
Like, because it was just, those guys are gelling. They got love for each other. They truly are happy if they friends do whatever. They're having fun, and that's half the battle. So I expect them to, because in football, it's all about how you get off on your start. Like, you got the first three, you got, as well as I do. There's 3 seasons in football in college. There's 4 seasons in pros. So what do you look like for them first 4 games? What do you look like for that middle 4? What do you look like those last 4? So
3 phases, yo.
yeah,
It's 3.
yeah,
I tell people all the time, it's 3 phases. There's the first half. So in high school, it's first
right,
5, second
right,
5, last 5, which is playoff. Well, in
right.
college, it's 3. It's 4, 4, and 4. First
Mhm.
quarter, well, the first third, fourth third. But now, because of the playoff system, that's
Right.
the actual quarter. It makes it a quarter now. I found it right here. One of the teammates actually sent me this right here, and they say they're gonna send it to me. But I thought this was great. Let me see if I can put this up here, man. A shirt. It said they called me Coach Hayes. I mean Hates. And on the shirt right here
Wow.
are the comments that was said. Let's see if I can blow them bigger. Reggie Vaughn 7436 says Hayes is the biggest hater in Florida. He tried to talk Hassan out of signing with Colorado.
Yeah. See, I don't know Reggie Vaughn, but first off, Reggie Vaughn, it's not Hassan. My son's name is Assad, capital ASAAD. Coach Hayes did his announcement, his commitment after he committed, and not once did he try to tell Assad to, go anywhere else. Actually, Coach Hayes told Assad he think he made a wise decision and that he expects him to go out there and perform because people don't realize Coach Hayes is a Deion Sanders fan. He truly is. Most people don't, which says a lot because Coach Hayes is a Miami fan. So true players recognize greatness, and Coach Prime is great. Uh, you know, the reality of it is it's okay to feel that Colorado is gonna go 6-6 or 8-4, and or that they may even lose a game. You know, you don't, that doesn't mean you're hating. That's
Right.
just, that doesn't mean you're hating that you don't feel they're gonna win. That's you have every right to feel however you feel as far as how games are gonna be got. But I just think that it's a shame that you call it a hater just because you say this kid isn't a 5 star. You call it a hater because you say, oh, Colorado is gonna go 6-6. You call it a hater, because you just I've heard you talk about Miami, and anybody who knows this man knows he is truly a Miami fan.
Hold
So
up.
I don't.
Speaking of that, Chris E says you come off as a hater cause I would like for you to spell it correctly, but cause on every CU live chat, you have something negative to say about Prime. First of all, you need to put some respect on Coach Prime name and capitalize a proper noun.
And he's
Chris
Coach
E.
Prime, by the way. He's Coach
And it's
Prime,
Coach Prime,
right?
comma. But when you have Miami live chat, you are all praises with no defensive attitude. Now, what did
Yeah,
you just say? It's funny.
uh,
This is on this same shirt.
yeah, man. The reality of it is, I've seen you criticize, Miami on many occasions. I mean, and I've heard you criticize Miami. The reality of it is, as a fan, you're supposed to be critical of your own team. I think Coach Prime is doing a tremendous job. I think Coach Prime is going to have those boys in a situation where they're going to be better. Coach Prime did a tremendous job by hiring a strength and conditioning coach. He has some tremendous
Yes.
coaches that
Yes.
help him out. I mean, if you just even see just the body difference, that's what people don't understand. I just want people to
Transformation.
go. I want people to go back and look at Colorado in the spring and like when they first find, because back then only Bucky was doing the videos. Go back and
Right.
see a video from February and look at what those kids look like now in July. Uh, Jimmy Horn's a prime example. Look at Jimmy Horn's body; it looks
Mhm.
tremendous. So so I tell people, you know, they're going to be better than what people think. And the conference is a different conference. You really only have three hitters out there. Oregon's going to be a hitter, Utah's going to be a hitter, and of course USC. Those are the three that the games that those that'll tell a lot about how Coach Prime will use those as a measuring stick. Because if he win those three games, then guess what? He probably is going to go to the national championship. To be honest, he gonna be in the playoffs. I hope more than anybody they are.
AG, I need you to relax. You want to know why? Because Patricia says, look at his body language. He's a hater. I need you to relax, AG. I need you to stop it.
Hey
Anyway, I'm
man,
just having fun.
leave,
Like, I'm having fun with it.
I just can't believe they made a shirt. But are you getting profits on the shirt? That's the question I have to ask. Because if you're getting profits on the shirt, hey man, who cares if they sell 10,000 and you get $3 a pop? Hey man, get your money.
They said they're gonna send me one, so we're gonna
Okay.
find out real quick.
Or
But anyway,
I tell you what I'm gonna do is this. So I'm gonna make sure that Coach Hayes comes out to the Colorado game we play USC. And so hey, Coach Hayes, what you need to do is get some T-shirts made, and whoever's going to be at the Colorado USC game, make a donation for the T-shirts so that when Coach Hayes see you, you can say something to him. You
I like
coming to USC game? I'm gonna hold you to it.
matter of fact, hold up. I'm gonna book the ticket. Matter of fact, when we get off, I already looked at the ticket. So when I
Yeah,
get off, let's
yeah,
let's
let's
put it
get it.
together, see the times and all that stuff. We in the same
All right.
area, get on the same plane. Don't
Hey
matter
man,
to me.
let's get it. Cause like I say,
Matter of
man,
fact, let me call. I don't even want to watch it. Let me call Prime right quick and tell him to send a private jet, man.
yeah, he'll do it for you. He'll do it for you.
I tell him I'm gonna bring him some cowboy boot shoe polish, and
Oh no, no.
he'll,
So just tell
he'll
him you're
send
gonna
a
bring him
private.
some. All you gotta do is tell him you're gonna bring him some of them Florida boys. He got you.
I bet so, man. But anyway, like I say, that's what it is. No, we're just having fun with it though. But I actually like that shirt. I think it's pretty smooth. What
No,
you
no, I,
think?
I love, man. I tell you, I think the shirt is tremendous. As long as you're getting, if you're getting it, if you're getting what you're supposed to get.
I'm gonna sit there, send it to me. I'll put it
Somebody.
up
Oh, how's the side doing?
real quick. 499 Lawrence RB. How's Assad doing, Coach Hayes? In my honest opinion, is like me, a fan of Coach Prime. Pops Assad, is your opinion, Coach Prime, coach of Florida school, FSU, I guess Florida or Miami? So I guess what they're asking is after the Colorado thing, and I don't want to go too deep down this road. He ain't leaving Colorado, but I will say this. I have clearly said, and I don't care who you are, 98%, I'll leave 2% for the true Colorado alum and maybe the people who live in Colorado that didn't used to watch him like this. It's just like saying people are FIU fans and FAU
Right,
fans. Stop it.
right.
Unless you're an alum. We're not Colorado fans. These guys are Coach Prime fans. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's beautiful. Because this same fan base, this is what Coach Prime knows. I don't leave a fan base behind. I'm
It's like
bringing another.
LeBron. It's like LeBron. It's like Kobe. It's like Shaq. It's like
Stop
Jordan.
picking my words because they're gonna say we in cahoots. Stop it. Because I said the same thing. You are Kobe fans. You are KD fans. And the only reason people are Chicago Bull fans because Mike was only at Chicago, for the first part of his career,
Right,
which was a
right.
long time. If Michael Jordan, which that wasn't popular then, but if Michael Jordan went to 4 or 5 different teams throughout his career, people would say they're Michael Jordan fans. That's it. But basketball has changed. These guys get in, get out, go to
Right,
another team. So now they're
right.
LeBron fan. You know what I mean? And so it's the same thing. Can I tell you something? Since people want to say, that's why my show is called Prime Time Talk. It don't say nothing Colorado. Because if he go to Florida State, Prime Time Talk, and I'm changing the color to garnet and gold. If he go to Ole Miss, Prime Time Talk, red, white, and blue. But
I
anyway,
think I tell everybody, to answer Lawrence's question, the side is doing great. Uh, he's having a great time. He's enjoying college. He's enjoying, his teammates. Uh, you know, Coach Prime had to get on him early. He came early. Like for me, I respect Coach Prime because he was in my son's behind. help make him a better man. So for me, as a dad, that's all you can ask for. And he looked me in my eyes and told me he was going to treat my son like it was his, and he did that. So,
Right.
like, I'm cool with Coach Prime. Like, like the measure of a man is how do I discipline someone? My son messed up, he be in that behind. So I appreciate him because we don't have no issues now. So like kids come to school, they don't know how to work. Coach Prime taught them how to work. In high school, it's easy. Assad could just get out the bed and do whatever. So I appreciate Coach Prime, making sure he learned how to work. So he's doing real good now. One of the things that I tell everybody is I don't know what Coach Prime is going to do. If he go 15-0, and this is what I would tell anybody. Let's say Prime goes 15-0, they win the national championship, and someone offers him more money. Man, go get that money, Coach Prime. Just like I said about them kids earlier. Hey, whatever he wants to do, I support him. Like people get mad about like guys leaving. Hey man, if they got a better opportunity, you should be happy for them. If you really are, that's what you should want for them anyway. But I
Sure.
think that Coach Prime is. Uh, I think that, and this is the thing about Colorado. I think people don't understand. Until you go there, you really don't have a clue. I think Prime really enjoys it there. He's really a country boy. Colorado has a lot of country spots for him. It's very peaceful. It's expensive.
They got
It's very
mountain ranges. He could go ride a
it's
horse on and stuff. Yeah.
right. It's expensive. Now, that's what would keep me away because it's really expensive. But Prime got all
Mm.
the money in the world, so I think he's really fallen in love with Colorado. It's really a great place. I think that my son is starting to enjoy it as well. I think that we'll see what happens. I think that it's going to be interesting. I think that I think that if Florida State job, I don't think Florida State job will come open anytime soon because Mike Norvell is doing a tremendous job. I just don't see, I don't know if Coach Prime could ever go to Florida or Miami, but if he went to Florida State, how could anybody get mad at him? That's his alma mater.
I tell people that all the time. Let me ask
Yeah.
you this: just these, because again, we are speaking in hypotheticals. Again, he brought it up. Let me put this back up. Lawrence brought this up. I know that Florida is a hotbed of recruiting for him, right?
Mhm.
I looked at the flights. I know it's about a 3.5-hour flight from here to there, somewhere around there.
Yeah, 4 hours
Uh,
from here to Orlando, from Orlando to there, 4 hours.
right, and then plus you got another 30 miles and so forth. Those
Yeah.
are minuscule things, but you talk about recruiting. Can Coach Prime go in anybody's living room and get any kid? Most definitely.
Easily.
But does it make it easier to walk into a kid's living room who is 50 miles, 100 miles, maybe 200 miles away from the school? Meaning, what do I mean is, instead of transplanting all of these Florida, maybe Georgia kids, what if you do have a school like maybe a Georgia Tech? I'm only speaking a Georgia Tech. I'm trying to think Georgia Texas schools that are out there.
Yeah, I think that
Texas
that
Tech,
he
whatever, somewhere like that.
the thing is, Prime turned. I think that people truly don't understand that Prime turned down South Florida, Georgia Tech, and probably. I'm pretty. This ain't coming conversation I had with Coach Prime. This is me just knowing the other schools. He had other job opportunities. When he says that, he's not lying. I
Mhm.
think that Coach Prime understands, like I do. I would much rather take a kid from Florida, bring him out to Colorado because they ain't gonna have nothing like him. Like people don't understand. Like Prime is in a great place in Colorado because he has relationships in Texas, which I'm from Texas originally. A lot of my friends went to Colorado and played football. It's not that far from Texas.
Is
Uh,
that where they got a lot of their players from back in those 90s when they were
oh
really
yeah,
good? A lot
yeah.
of Texas
They was
guys?
getting
Okay.
they're getting from Texas and California. Like they were
California. Okay, that's
like
fair.
because both of those are like right there. So Colorado with Prime having the ability to come in Florida, what people don't understand is I told somebody think about it like this. Prime just with his last recruiting class, he got the defensive player of the year, Kamani McLean, in the
Mhm.
state of Florida for Suburban. He got the offense. He got the well, no, Kamani was player of the year. I take that back for Suburban.
That's a
Uh,
high school classification, y'all, for
is
suburban. You're like, what is that?
this
That's the classification of the high school.
how they do it in Florida, let's make sure they understand. 4 is the means you have the biggest number of kids. They have 4 metro, 4 suburban, 3 metro, 3 suburban, 2 metro, 2 suburban. Well, suburban means everything outside of the major, big counties, which is Dade, Broward, like Miami, Orlando, Jacksonville, and Tampa. So
Because it used to be just A's, like 6A,
right,
5A,
used to
4.
be 1A.
So most people hearing, yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah, but he got that, and then he turned around and got the 4 Metro Player of the Year, which was Assad. Now, imagine if Prime keep taking, because I don't care what nobody say. If you Player of the Year in the state of Florida, you pretty good. Seriously, that's just the bottom line. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. Is it,
Sure.
So if he can continue to recruit to that level, and he's gonna get national guys because he's Coach Prime. If I'm a
Right.
DB, if I'm a DB and how do you compete if you're another school? I'm coach, Coach Prime come in your living room and says, "Hey, I can help get you to the NFL." Who you gonna believe? Coach Prime? Or you gonna believe the other coach? So, I think that people better be glad. This is what people need to really be glad about. They better hope and pray that Colorado don't get NIL money like other schools.
Mm.
Because I promise you, if Coach Prime got NIL money like Texas A&M and Texas, Coach Prime is y'all gonna be calling him coach. Y'all might start talking to him like he's the GOAT, like Nick Saban, because he would get
Can I ask you something? I want to ask you something. You brought this up. Now we know Colorado is a state where they allow the sweet Chiba to be legal. I don't know if it's a conflict of interest because you're
What's
dealing
Sweet
with
Chiba?
schools.
What's Sweet Chiba?
The sweet Chiba, the broccoli,
Yeah, I knew what
huh?
you was talking about. My bad. I knew what you was talking about. My bad. I'm just being crazy.
The spinach, the marijuana, right? What I'm trying to say is the amount
The
of
wacky
money,
tobacco.
the wacky tobacco, in the words of Snoop Dogg, that ooh wee, all right, that purple haze, ooh, come on, man. I ain't no smoker like that, so I would do.
Yeah,
I gotta get game
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Folks be
I used
stuck
to.
like this. You be stuck. You be in there talking.
Nah, I can't do it. It ain't. I got asthma, so I'm more of a liquor
So
guy.
anyway, what I would say is, imagine those companies create NILs with the amount of money they make.
Oh, no doubt.
They probably do. I don't know, but I'm just saying if they ever get, and I don't know how Coach Prime feels about the medical marijuana field. I'll leave it at that, right? Have your eyes red like brake lights. But I'm just saying, we're talking about an entity literally in your state. And Colorado, correct me if I'm wrong, is the biggest college team there, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Colorado
definitely.
State. So of course, Colorado
Yeah,
it's kind of like LSU. It's the only big thing smoking in the city, literally.
yeah.
You get it?
It's
Only
the
thing
big. I got
smoking.
it. I got it. I got to play. I got to play on words.
So the only thing literally smoking in the city. They're gonna have that Buffalo brew, that Buffalo buzz in a minute, if you know what I'm saying. But imagine the amount of money that would generate for a collective or for oh my goodness, bro.
Hey, I thought about it on many occasions. I think that well, I know Coach Prime. He ain't about the kids. Doing that. That's not his thing. He's about those guys going out and uh, trying to put themselves in the best position when they leave Colorado, they can get jobs or get in the NFL or whatever the case may be. But I'm with you. I think that if all I'm saying is however he gets the money, they better hope and pray that Coach Prime don't get that kind of money because now he'll be able to go after more and more recruits. Because I'm telling you now, kids want to go to Colorado and pay for Coach Prime. Kids, there are
Yeah,
elite kids that they're not going because another school can offer them more money.
correct.
So if it gets to the point where Coach Prime is offering money the same as all the schools, I mean, he probably gonna end up like with everybody on the rivals, everybody he wants because you know it's two guys. I'm telling you now, Coach Prime is definitely they're two different kind of guys. Coach Prime, when you sit in the room with him, you realize that he's like like Coach Prime is what everybody sees, but that Deion Sanders, man, that's a good man. That's a good brother. I'm talking about he really is a caring brother, good Christian brother. He really care about you. Coach Prime is what everybody sees on, on TV.
Gotcha.
But there's only one other guy that I think that could get a kid in the room, and the kid got to think about it, and that's
Coach
that
Hayes.
son of a. Now Coach Hayes, that's without being said, but I'm talking about a football college coach. And I give you one guess, because I guarantee you'll know who I'm talking about. There's only one guy that I promise you, if a kid sit across the room from him, everybody in that thing be like, I want to commit, coach. There's only one guy.
Mario Cristobal.
No.
Oh, my bad. I'm
Hey,
trying to put my Canes in there.
hold
I'm
on.
trying to put
No,
my Canes in there.
no,
Hold
man.
on.
It's only one guy. It's only one guy.
He's a current head coach right now. Hold on, he's a
Yes,
current
current
head
head
coach.
coach, current head coach. And I'm
Not Nick
telling you,
Saban. Nick Saban, that's too easy.
Nick Saban, bro. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
that was too easy. I
If
thought
you
you were gonna give me a hard one.
Dude,
Okay.
that what I mean. Hey, man, Nick Saban is probably one of the coolest coaches you'll ever meet. Could do the electric slide. Cool as a fan. He's all business though, like about football. But if you're a parent sitting in that room across the table, he gonna make sure that he got all his championship rings, and like I'm telling you, he gonna keep it real with you. I don't know how a kid can say no. I'm just being honest, but I know that Coach Prime is also that way as well. I just don't know. They just better hope he don't get Texas and Texas A&M type money, because Colorado would be national championship for years.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick. Let me get his last shot out of Shad, which we kind of answered it indirectly, not knowing. But Shad said if he did leave, I think Georgia Tech job could be good as any of the Florida schools, but that's just my opinion. We did kind of answer that. So Shad, thank you, man.
But help him out though. We give Shad a little more credit. Shad, I definitely agree, because the thing about GT is that it's in Atlanta. So I've always said that Georgia, like Coach Prime in Atlanta. Oh my goodness, with the
You
swag he
already know
got and
what
all
that
that
means.
stuff, man. If he was
Let's
back home in Atlanta, what? Hey, and only we know. Let's turn in the on. That's I was around in those days. Hey, I cannot go wrong. Hey, I was in Atlanta then, so I know. So
flashing lights
hey,
everywhere.
hey, I'm just trying to tell you. So I understand. I do agree, but I think Coach Prime, anywhere he has the cachet that anywhere he's at, he's going to be successful. And I think that he's proven it. He's that kind of guy. He believes in himself. He is the epitome of swag. He pretty much invented it. He's one of anybody can wear a Jerry curl. Reggie talking about Magic City NIL. I'm not going to touch that. Anybody, Anybody can wear a Jerry curl like Prime had that was all wet and still believe he was the man. Hey man,
You know you had one too. You notice
no
everybody that had Jerry curls, they dome look just like your dome.
No, never had a Jerry. And first of all,
my bad. You had a leisure curl. It was a difference.
Man, I didn't have the Luther. I didn't have none of that stuff. I didn't have the Luther Vandross. You just light skinned. Y'all had good hair. So you know how y'all are about it.
Get it from my mom.
Yeah, y'all had that good hair. You know how y'all are about it. I tell you, because I tell people this all the time. I send what I do with Assad. Sometimes I send him videos of his coach, because I kind of Assad swag is a combination of myself and Keywan Ratliff, and Keywan got all this swag from Coach Prime. So
yeah, he said that in the show in the PPP. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a combination of both, because I have swag too. So I feel Coach Prime. I'll never get mad at nobody for that.
Yeah, real quick, let me do this, man, as we push on. We got 250 people in the building. Got phone calls here going on in the back. He said he ain't got nowhere to go. His wife kicked him out of the house.
No, she kicked me out. She went in her room because I made her.
My bad. I thought you was at the Legion. I thought you was at the American Legion.
I'm in my house. I saw that background. I told my wife. Matter of fact, I told her, hey, you need to go in another room. I'm talking to a real player today. You need to stay away from, real player conversation.
I'm glad you know, player.
Yeah, that's what I let her know. I mean, just what it is.
Shout out to Reggie in the building. Lemon Pepper Deborah, the cheerleader coach.
hey, Reggie, hey man. I appreciate you, man, but you can't be giving out all the secrets on Coach Hayes football. You ain't gonna nobody ain't gonna ever be able to go to the spot you talking about.
See, the problem with Reggie is, and Reggie's my man, 50 grand. But Reggie, that you had the dude they used to hang around, didn't say much, and then he grew up one day. He like,
Off
that's
the
little
chain.
Reggie. That's little
Yeah,
Reggie. And Reggie
yeah.
got about 4-5 on him. He
Oh
got the
yeah.
little new, he got the 1989 Benz, but it's fresh. You know what I'm saying? With the
Oh yeah.
AMG
It's still
kit
rolling.
on it.
AMG kid.
But it's the 89 though. It's the 89
Right.
cat. The
It's
candy
still
apple
fresh
red with the
with the
fins. It's the
drop top.
AMG.
Right.
Yeah. And had the seats refurbished because they had got ripped one time because
Right.
somebody got stabbed in there because it was used to be a drug dealer car, but he got it out the pound. That's Reggie right there. Real quick, man, before we take these phone calls, 999. Since you touched on it, do you think Boulder is a benefit because it's essentially away from a lot of distractions like college towns? So football is front and center. That's a good question, right? Because that is a distraction. And I think that's one of the things Miami might have, or Georgia Tech, maybe a USC that's in major spots. It's secluded. What's your thoughts on that? Good question, Shaq.
Yeah, I think it's a great college town. I mean, everybody there, the town is really just the University of Colorado. When you come in, it's University of Colorado. There's cities around. It's beautiful. I think being there's not much to do as far as but what I like about it is if they really want to get into something, they just drive 20, 25 miles. Just like really speaking, if a kid's at Coral Gables, he drives 25, 30 minutes. He in Miami getting it in. Basically, they're 25, 30 minutes, but Colorado's a little bit more slow boogie. Like Colorado's crime rate is they say it's number 2 in the country. I mean, so it's just a little different. But I think, uh, when they start winning, because I'm telling you, and I will say this to you guys honestly. Back in the day, I used to literally, I had friends of mine that pledged my fraternity. They were at Colorado. I went up there, and I'm telling you, Colorado was live when they winning. I'm just telling you. Because it's just like any other program. If you go to University of Miami when they're winning, it's gonna be different. Then so even though they're all in college towns, I think it's gonna be a good spot.
I got you. Peanut, he an Alabama fan. I done slapped his front 2 teeth out. That's why you see him missing in there. But he said Miami is a soccer town. Man, I love the team, man. We've having fun. Let's take some calls here. 862-799-9956. Call on in. You'll be in the queue. I see my man Wood in the building already. Followed up with the long snapping preacher. So get on in here. Hey, when the long snapping preacher come in, you can actually go to sleep because he ain't talking about nothing. I mean, if real, I'm gonna go read a book. I even got my glasses, AG. You ain't even know your boy had. I got
Wow,
glasses. Let me get my book ready for him. I see him by the Google man.
wow.
Hold on, let me see what's a good book I can read. Oh, Quiet Strength by Tony Dungy. Hold on,
Don't do him like that.
right here, Quiet Strength by Tony Dungy. I'll read this one.
Good book though. It's a good book. It's a really good book.
Excellent book, man. All right, let's start this thing off with my man right here. We got 2 minutes. I'm gonna keep the timer locked and rocked, ready to go, man. Wood, talk to me, baby. Oh, I gotta unmute the man. My bad. Wood, talk to me, baby.
What's good?
I'm good, baby. What's up?
Man, I just want to call in and give y'all shout out, man. Y'all got an excellent show going on. Y'all
Thanks,
dropping some gems on the people. Giving some real behind the scenes and some real info so they just won't be fans. They could be a little more realistic about the processes and how it goes. So, I just want to give y'all flowers.
Nah, I appreciate it, Wood, man. Like I said, this is what happens. You just have a conversation, man. We talk it out. We can look at each other's point of view. I love it, man. And that's what podcasting is all about, man. That's why I loved it. I actually, not because I named it, but I actually heard this from a coach a long time ago. The word coach, like when the phrase coach me, coach, it's not new. I heard a long time ago, and it resonated with me so well because what he said was, challenge me to coach you. Coach me, coach. And I brought that up to say, I know I'm a coach, but I'm also here to learn. You know what I'm saying? And AG, my man, we talk all the time, but I learned tonight even more, right? Because every day I go by, somebody else learn. I learn from the callers. That's why I love doing it. So I appreciate that, Wood. Anything, AG?
Oh no, man. Appreciate you, Wood. Like I said, for the record, so that everybody's clear, I'm hoping Colorado go 15-0. So let's make sure that we're clear. But I support Coach Prime, and I know that it's a process. everything. We didn't just come out the womb and start running. We all had to walk. We had to crawl and we had to walk. So that's kind of how I look at everything.
Yeah, and that's fair, right? And to
Right.
me, that's fair. I believe the same thing. But what's your thoughts, real quick, about anything we talked about tonight?
I mean, my thought is just in general, man, like we got to be positive. We got to be working. We got to be progressive, man. So I appreciate all the talk you're saying tonight because it's just showing nothing happens overnight. So we got to support people that's really about those processes and enriching the kids and making them better. So I'm on board with Prime 100% because I know that's what the brother trying to do. And it's not just football. He's trying to, enhance their life for the future. So we both on board with that,
Sure enough, man. Appreciate it, man. Let me go and get to this dude. Oh, God. Long snapping preacher.
All right, now.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Wood.
Thanks, Wood. Good, big time.
Yeah, we're cool people, man. Old classmate, man. So I saw that in there too. Nassau Jones talking about American was 2A. But Nassau Jones, just because you was from behind, just because you were behind the P. Anyway, go ahead, AG.
Nah, I was just saying, before I forget, I want to make sure that everybody understands. Y'all better support Coach Prime because, and I hate to say this it's still, as you see, it's a lot of people hating on Coach Prime. And if Coach Prime does not, if he was not successful, which I know he will be, do you know how hard it's going to be for the next African American coach to get a job? I see all the time great African American coaches being passed over for jobs for, guys who don't have the experience or don't have anything. It's guys getting jobs that they've been coaching for 4 years on the college level and getting major jobs. So, and the sad part is if Coach Prime name wasn't Coach Prime, he would have never got that Colorado job. So we need him to be very successful. I mean, if my son went at Colorado, I would truly be supportive of Coach Prime because we need him to be as successful as possible for the next man.
And I totally agree with that statement. Like I really do. I really agree with that statement. I definitely know what it is. You talking about how hard it is to get a job. There's some people that's on this podcast can't even get a job. Yeah, digs me.
Hold on, man. I know a dude on this podcast that went 8-3 and 2 losses was to the 2 teams that was in the state city final. Yeah, one was a state winner. And he had 1 loss in the playoffs and lost his job. That's all I'm saying. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
God dang it, AG. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots
Yes.
fired.
Since you want to bring up my son.
Hold on, you know what I said? I feel like Tyrese around here.
What more do you want from me?
What more?
Oh, that's about how you look too.
You know, red men like to cry. We ain't scared to show our feeling. Man, get ready, man, AG, to fall asleep, man. Make sure you don't hit your head off the desk or something. This dude here. Watch this. Here we go.
Coach, read your book because it's time to cook. Okay. First, I want to say this though, Mr. AG, I watch you and Coach Hayes a lot on Sports Club. I think it's Sports Club Florida, or whatever. And y'all do those interviews with those high school kids. I knew your voice was very distinct when I first turned on the chat, and I was super excited. I'm a big fan of what you do in those interviews and how you ask those questions. So it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you. I was really hoping Coach Hayes would allow calls so I could just be able to talk to you and just say I'm really a big fan of what you do on there and what Coach Hayes does on there too.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
I'm gonna start out with this.
Good.
What'd you say?
No, me and you good, man. I'll slap Coach Hayes for you.
I'm gonna start out with this. I'm gonna start out with this, Coach, because this is the Coach Me Coach about all college football topics, and I hear some big news. Ty Simpson starting to step up. Guess what? Y'all want to go ahead and doubt Alabama? Continue to doubt. Ty Simpson's getting ready to step up. Roll Tide, roll. I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm seeing. But let's continue to talk about Colorado.
You don't have to. Is he the long snapper for Alabama? Is he the long snapper, Ty?
Huh?
Is Ty the long snapper for Alabama?
No. Ty Simpson's the quarterback.
Never heard of that guy.
Y'all said we ain't got a quarterback. He's stepping up.
He can play.
Continue to talk about Colorado and life in football. Continue to talk about how they got the dogs and whatever. Just we gonna sit back and be silent. But I'm excited about this year. Okay. And I also want to say, Coach Hayes, They did you wrong in Florida high school, but guess what? Come up to the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Get at one of these programs up here. We gonna treat you right up here, coach. So come on, move up to Alabama, get you a nice job up here, and guess what? We gonna treat you right.
You got 30 seconds,
and I
bro.
want to end on this. John 15 verses 18 through 20. If the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. The world would love you as one of its own if you belong to it. But you are no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. And actually, that was 18 through 19. You ain't a part of this world. You too loved, you too valuable to be a part of this world. Jesus Christ died for you. So just because you're facing some pushback, whatever anybody's going through, just because you're facing some pushback, that's a part of it. But guess what? God loves you. You're valuable to him. Thank you for having me on. Big fan of you guys. Have a blessed one. Bye.
Be blessed, man. Be blessed. Hey, man, you can't do a man like that that's bringing up the Lord, Coach Hayes. Come on, man. The man bringing up.
He does that all the time. Listen, this is our thing because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And I told him, I can't ever crash his plane because, I crashed plane. You know that little ding-dong me like plane. This is – he knows to do the scriptures at the end because I can't crash the plane.
You can't do that, man. That's what I'm
why
saying.
That's why I got right here.
It's actually a great scripture. It really is.
Quiet strength. That's what I use. Quiet strength when it comes to the long snapping preacher. Oh, God. But I know who Ty Simpson is. I did a video on him. All right, we got a fellow Texan in the building.
Oh, yeah, he good people. Yeah, he good people.
No, not him. My next man coming up. Okay. This is the Google man. The Google man. Don't be scared to call in 862-799-9956. Stop being scared. Come on, y'all. Google man, talk to me, baby. What's up? Uh-oh.
Hey, man, first of all, I want to tell the dude that's on the show, I don't know his name because I caught on the show a little late. But first of all, I want to say, I hope your son ball out. I hope he can keep his nose clean, make the NFL, and come join our Dallas Cowboys. Another thing I want to say is,
this dude is all right with me.
You were right about the black thing, but what's that, Coach?
He was saying you all right with me, brother. You a Cowboy fan, so I know you're a good man.
He from Dallas.
Exactly. Another thing I want to say is you so right about the black coaching, and that's another reason I want Deion Sanders to do good. Not only that, I'm a fan of Deion Sanders, so I'm one of the people that been trying to tell the Colorado fans, the Deion Sanders fans, just scale back your expectations because, and I'm so glad you said 6-6 because you got a son going there. And so I'm just hoping these fools can see the light. But anyways, I love Deion Sanders. I love basically like anybody that started on the old. First of all, I'm 41 years old, so I've seen the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls. Right. But anybody that started on the teams, I would take a bullet for them. I would take an ass whooping for one of them players. Real time, I love them dudes. Hey, I love the Cowboys. I love Deion Sanders. And I also got a quick story. I forgot about this story. About 10 years ago, I was working at Ready Ice. It's an ice company. I went to a gas station. I said, back then I was hollering all the team. I was getting numbers and doing my thing. I seen the fine girl at the gas station. I went in there, it was a BMW parked outside. Then when I went inside the gas station, I seen Charles Hayden. I put 2 and 2 together. I said, that must be Charles Hayden's daughter. I'm not finna holler at her because I'm gonna get beat up. I'm gonna get beat up by Charles Hayden, and I love Charles Hayden. So that story I completely forgot about. And I was thinking right before I called in about telling how I would take off for any Dallas Cowboys that won 3 Super Bowls for me. And I hope your son can ball out, and I hope Deion Sanders can. First of all, I want Deion Sanders to go 12-0, but it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, we want that.
Every time, I can't stand people talking about Coach Hayes a hater. Man, anyway, but yeah, that's all I got.
Google man, I love you, man. I want you to see Google man's talents. AG, I know you're not knowing this. Google man, I'm not sure if you tuned in and your brain is firing. But you know why we call him the Google man? You can ask him about any football player. He can tell you everything about them, including their prom date. Just give him one name, AG. One name from the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, from the Cowboys? Darren
Or
Woodson.
anyway. No, that's too easy. No, that's too easy. Too easy.
What Cowboys?
Dak win. Dak win.
Dak Wing played at Texas A&M. He wore number 9 and he wore number 59 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
What school he went to? What high school? And who was his prom date? Watch this.
He went to school in San Antonio, and his prom date was Lisa Malone. She about 5'3", and she was going blind at the time.
He almost had me, but you know I'm from San Antonio, so I know Dak is not from San Antonio. So that's what he meant. He could have got me, but
I don't know about the high school. That's just Coach Hayes trying to add on.
Yeah,
I don't know about the high school.
That's Coach Hayes add on. But
Google man, let me roll on. We got a lot of people there, but anyway, go ahead.
No, I said Dak was player of the year for the state of. Dak is player of the decade for the state of Florida, the state of Texas in 1990s. By the way, high school football. That's a little known fact.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. All right, Google man, appreciate you. Let me get to E Brown. Yeah. God, I leave. Boy, we got y'all call me haters. We got some haters on the line tonight. E Brown, this is gonna be interesting. Listen, E Brown is about 6'8", but his hair is slicked back like Al Sharpton. But he gonna AG, no serious. But it's missing. It's missing right here. Yeah, he pulled up to the scene with the ceiling missing. That's what 2 Chainz got his the inspiration for that song. So we got E Brown on the line right now. And they say he can't stand next to open flames. That's why he had to get rid of the gas stove in his house. Because that thing gets serious real quick. E Brown on the line. Talk to us, man.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
See? Good morning.
I saw good evening, good night, good evening. I saw the bishop earlier on the picture there with a white suit on, and I couldn't believe it. But you know what? I gotta say this. To is it Mr. GA, right? Is Mr.
GA?
AG.
All right, Mr. AG. Ain't no disrespect, Mr. AG. Listen, we all as parents went through it before. We all suffer from a little PD, and that is parent delusion. And what I mean by that is that anybody who would think that Colorado's going to go 6-15-0, 12-0, or 6-6. Hey, listen, it's just a little PD, a little PD going on, a little parent delusion. I've been there, done that. Everybody's been there, done that before. So we're all good. We're all good. Now the thing about it is, throughout the conversation tonight, I've heard a lot of talk about fans and so on and so forth when it comes to Deion. Coach Prime. And there's a difference between a follower and a fan. Because see, a follower is a fair weather person. They're fair weather. Well, a fan is excited about and they're passionate about the team. Because a follower are people that will follow you and then they're not passionate about it. But a fan, man, they believe in your mission, your product, your promise, and everything. Okay, so that's where we're at, and that's where we're at with the Colorado Buffaloes right now. It's like the parent here tonight. He can be considered
10 seconds.
Be considered a follower. He can be considered a follower because he's not a fan of the Colorado Buffaloes. He's a follower of Deion, which means that he's suffering from a little PD right now, a little parent delusion. So what we're going to do is hey, listen, as Miami Hurricanes fans, we're used to that state of mind, so we're going to stay there for a little bit with him, and we'll ride it out with him. We'll console him because after this year, when they go 1-11 again, I mean,
I can't see that now, Ibram.
Hey, say man, all I'm gonna say to you is this: whoever this man is, he's a hater. 1-11? Come on now. I mean, like this man is really like. My thing is this: when I say Yeah, right. Because when I say, I'm just saying I guarantee you they're gonna win 6 games. And that's because I'm looking at there's only, like I said, 3 teams on there that will definitely be favored. Like Nebraska has, issues, and you can go down the list. Colorado State, they could be in those games. Like no one, there's nobody in the world, if they bet in their house, is gonna say USC, Utah, because those guys are gonna be favoring those games. Now, once again, as a parent, I'll be the first one to say that I hope they go 12-0. But Utah, USC, and what's the other team? Oregon. Those 3, they're gonna definitely not be over there. What say? Yeah, for real.
This E. Brown who we talking to. This E. Brown
That's
we
E.
talking
Brown.
to.
Because E. Brown, because when you said E. Brown, I thought you was talking about Eddie. I thought this was Eddie Brown.
No,
Comment.
no, this Earl Brown. This Earl.
This
His name Earl.
Yeah, man.
Earl
Earl a hater, man.
I gotta let you listen. Watch, I'm finna bust him with his own line. E. Brown, are you finished pontificating?
That's what he's doing.
Coach, right, you're right, Coach. You're right, Coach.
So guess what I'm about to do?
Incorrect.
Guess what I'm about to do?
Coach.
Yeah. Hey, man, that man said 1-11.
Hurry up, real quick. Say what you got to say. I gotta go. Come on.
Let me say this. You guys are absolutely correct. You guys are absolutely correct. I was wrong to say 1-11. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, you was right. I was dead wrong. I'm going to tell you the correct.
You better not say 0-12, Ebron. I'm gonna hang up on you. I swear if you say 0-12.
No, let him say it. Let him say it.
Hold up. In the words of Drake, say it twice so I know you meant it. Say it twice.
Let him say it. Because we're gonna have this conversation when the season come up.
Well, 0-12, 0-12. You can go 0-13 if you count the spring game.
Man, bye, man. Get that dude out there. Crash his plane.
Hey, man,
Matter of fact, Chris Kane. Hey, Chris Kane said,
can I say something for in E. Brown's defense? This is what people don't understand. I respect his opinion. He has his opinion. We won't know, what's going to happen until the season starts. We're I think 1-11 is definitely some haterade, but he may just be, someone who really doesn't like Coach Prime or doesn't like Colorado, and that's okay too. But when I see people truly on these pages and they mad and Coach Hayes, if I saw him, I'd do this, and I'm talking about going ham. No, we know that, but I'm telling you that hey man, I had a good time looking at this. Boy, E. Brown was extra for the 5 heartbeats. Man,
he wasn't extra. You got that wrong, Chris. He was the stunt double. He had that fight. He was the one getting punched.
Nah, man. So I appreciate Coach. I appreciate E. Brown, man. Like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's what make it fun. To see, everybody has an opinion where Colorado's going to be. But for the record, I'm over to go 12-0. Yeah, I hope they go 12-0. I'm telling you that. I hope they go 12-0. It is what it is.
1966. You on the line? Talk to us. You got 2 minutes. 1966.
Yeah, this is Mike Lowry.
Oh, Mike Lowry, what's up, boy? How you doing, boy? Somebody told me you was a bad boy.
Go on, say the number in so you know who I am when I'm coming in now.
You know what? I'm finna do that right now. I'm finna drop it in the line right now. Go for it, man. Talk to it. What's your thoughts?
Oh, so we got a player parent on the phone.
Yeah, this is Saad Waseem's dad, but he's from Orlando. He does a lot with recruiting, so. If you want to talk to him, yeah.
You talking about the slot receiver?
Yes.
The freshman?
Yes.
The light skin one, the light skin one that looked like Ronnie Bell from New Edition. That one.
Nah, man.
I like him.
You don't look like no Ronnie Bell, man. Come on now, man. He look like a Saad. He look like a Saad Waseem.
I ain't messing with him.
See, that's what me and AG
I like
do.
him.
But anyway, go ahead.
I like him though. I like him to get if he can stay, if he do stay 2 years, and then you know what I'm saying, they're gonna get another good quarterback. I like him. I like all their freshmen they got. They got a good little back over there.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was telling somebody.
I predict the boys to get in the. I predict the boys to do some some unfathomed stuff in the world, man, because the kind of stuff I be seeing, the little snippets they do let out, the kind of workout that they do. When I used to play over there in JUCO in California, I already know what they own over there. If they come with a good defense, in which they are going to come with a good defense, man, I predict them boys to get it in national playoffs, man. You know, I believe in them boys pretty good, man. The quarterback, that offensive system that they run, you know, it's just so good, man. They come out, if you can't beat it with the run, I'm gonna beat you with the run. They already telling you what they want to do.
Tell them again, Mike Lowry.
They got some running backs over there in Colorado gonna run that thing, man. Like if you watch film and you're a coach, you got like 4 or 5, you depth 4 and 5 deep at running back. You 12, 13 deep. You need to tighten up your offensive line and your defensive line. And you everything else in the back four, you deep back there. You got kick returners, punt returners. They got a good team in Colorado, man. I love football, and I love Miami Hurricanes, and I drink the damn juice all the time, and I'm tired of getting our ass whooped for the last 27 years. I hope we can come back, but we look good. We look like a team that looks the part. When they talk about measurables, we look measurables, but we got the new freshmen coming in. Them boys looking good down there, the interior line. And I think we're going to do something. But I hope that, you know, we go better than 5 and 7, man, because 5 and 7 did not show what kind of team that we had down at Miami Hurricanes. And I know Deion Sanders is not going to do something like that in his first splash down in FBS football, man. I know he ain't.
Mike Lowry, I appreciate you, man. I got to go to the next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying, though, man. But I appreciate you, dog. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
So, go ahead, Mary. You can respond, AG.
No, I was just gonna say, man, honestly, their receiving core is a very nice receiving core. They're gonna have good receivers for years. They have, you know, a lot of depth. They have a lot of, you know, upperclassmen with, you know, that can really play, and they have, you know, a lot of freshmen that can really play. They're pretty deep receiving core. I got to give them credit for that. Like I love it because it's gonna, you know, I'm old school. I remember when Miami was deep. What made Miami and Florida, we had this conversation before offline. What makes you a good team is when your second, third, and fourth string guys are elite. You're not a good team just because your first string guys are elite. I mean,
AG,
and what I can honestly tell you, I think
I'm done, dog. Stop taking my talking points, dog. They're going to think we collab, dog. I said the same thing.
I mean, that's just how I go, man. Like, I think that, you know, I'm very confident in the 3 deep, the 3 to 4 deep at receiver and running back. You know, even I'm actually confident in the freshman guys. You know, like all freshmen, they have to you know, get better, and you know they need game experience. But man, like both of those freshmen, Wiseman as well as Stobbs, those boys are good. I was in the coach's office yesterday in South Florida, and he was talking about how, you know, which for those who don't know, he's the guy that he's the guy that recruited Joe to Tennessee. He's also the guy that had Mackenzie Milton. He had also the guy that just Hendon Hooker, and he told me, he said, man, we were trying to get Stobbs. We were trying to steal him from Colorado because their quarterback coach at Colorado went to South Florida, and he was like, man, I told him, man, I watched the kid live. I mean, he's going to be good. So I think that people understand Coach Prime has done a tremendous job in recruiting. You know, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
So I'm going to ask you a follow-up question about this because I want to be consistent. I already know. I think I know how you're going to answer this because we've been around each other for a long time. But it's only fair that I ask you this follow-up question. Please forgive me, Chad. I'm coming to you next 3091. Because I think it's only fair for me to have the same energy as they accuse me of.
Right.
Here goes a hypothetical. You know, I don't like to put injury on players, but let's say, I'm just asking you because I know we had a conversation. Let's just say Shedeur Sanders breaks the shoelace, got to come out for a minute to shave his legs. And Ryan Staub or Casey Wiseman has to come in. How do you think they fare being in a stage that large as true freshmen?
You know, my thing is about true freshmen. The more work you can get them early on in the season, the better. I mean, I'm a real proponent of, you know, I mean, and nowadays there really isn't really a true freshman thing going on because technically they can, they can play up to 4 games now. Most schools, going to play them and, guys in the first 2 or 3, and then they got to make a decision are they going to redshirt them or not. I think Shador has proven that he's, pretty durable. And I think, one good thing about it, people don't realize Sean, Sean Lewis is a hell of a coach. They really don't understand that. He's a hell of a coach. He understands football. He was up for not only the Colorado job, he was up for the South Florida job. He was the former coach at Kent State, so he has experience, calling plays and doing those kind of things. He's under the Dino Babers tree. So I think that a lot of times when you see backup quarterbacks, just like prime example, Joe was starting in Tennessee. Hendon Hooker was the 3rd string guy. Hendon came in and they did what they need to do, and now Joe got hurt. So I mean, you just never know. So you're only as good as your backups. That's really just the bottom line. And I think
and AG, and I'm gonna cut you off about that, but I just want to simply say thank you for answering. That's all I ask. Because see, here we go. Look at this. Carpet tape. Here we go. Look at Tony Bay. Here Hayes go again. Wishing injury on no. I actually wanted to ask somebody who could actually articulate an answer, and look how easy that was. That's all I was asking. It had nothing to do with Shador. I was just simply, I'm talking.
You even said if he just had to come out for a play because he had to shave his hair on his legs. So that you didn't say he was injured. I think that these one of the things that football there are going to be injuries. You don't wish that on anybody. I said what I've said is I think Shador has done a tremendous. Shador has shown he's not an injury-prone quarterback. I think he's smarter. I think one thing about Shador, I think he's smart to get rid of the ball. So I don't think he'll, even be in that situation. I think he's a very smart guy. I don't think he has to, I don't think he has to go through that. But let's just say he, got the bubble guts. Like he can't play in the game because he got the bubble guts.
And they're wearing all white that game. And they're wearing all white that game.
Yeah. And all you asking is, hey, can do I have confidence basically in the backups? And I really do. I have not only confidence in those guys because I watched them throw. I have confidence, and more importantly, I got confidence in Coach Lewis and Coach Coach Prime to make sure that they put the team in a good position.
So,
but it comes down to the trenches. At the end of the day, if I'm telling you now, if Colorado trenches is tight, man, they're gonna probably win 8 to 9 games. I'm telling you that now. Because like skill position wise, like I think skill position wise, especially on offense, they're pretty good. Like those freshman receivers, I'm telling you, in 3 years, when them boys get some season on them, man, if they can keep them all together, the Pac-12 will have to watch out, or wherever they are, Big 12, whatever's going on.
AG, that's what I was asking. That's all I was asking, because I've been asking that question. Everybody says he's not going to. I'm fine with that. I was just simply saying because, like you said, we have to see where that happens. Nobody expected De'Aaron King to go down, but he did. Up shows a Tyler Van Dyke. That's the way of the world. And so again, it's not a negative. We're talking because when I do see a Casey Wiseman, or I do see even if it's a blowout, maybe I should say that, Carpet Take. You know what? When Colorado blows out TCU, beating them by 70, and Casey Wiseman come in, do you think he can keep the train rolling? Does that make y'all happy? Maybe that's what I should say. Maybe I should say.
You know what? Probably so. But I'll say this. I have confidence in Coach Lewis that whether it's Casey Wiseman or Stobbs, I think those boys are going to be all right. I think, what people don't understand is nothing's set in stone. Like Shador would definitely be the starting quarterback, but those two guys are fighting for the backup spot right now. They really are. And, Staub was there in the spring. So, he has, but Casey Wiseman is a very smart kid. So, and one thing about Coach Lewis, he spends a lot of time with them boys on the board and stuff of that nature. So, they're going to be okay. I'm telling you.
Nah, that's cool. Real quick, you asked me who said San Antonio was just like Compton. That was an old DJ Quick song. You don't remember that song?
Oh no,
San Antonio is just like Compton.
Real talk. Only reason I asked is The guy they were talking about that got shot was my best friend growing up. True
Oh,
story.
really?
Named Garfield LaFon. The night before he came to my house, say, "Hey man, you going to the club?" I said, "No, man, I ain't going. Somebody gonna get shot." The next morning, my uncle Dibby came and said, "Hey, Garfield got shot at the club and he died."
Mm.
True story.
Wow.
True story. So that's why I know that song.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3091 coming to you next. Call or talk to us. 2 minutes.
Man, what to do, Coach? You should know this niggas, man. What's good? I had to
Nigga.
come in and holler at you since I ain't seen you in a bit.
I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't heard you in a minute. What's up with you, man?
Man, just chilling. Been in the lab, you gotta be on the grind, so every now and then you gotta fall back from everything.
Sure enough, man. So talk to us, man. What's
But
your thoughts
I
for the night?
love the show tonight, bro. Love the show tonight. Congrats to AG and his son making it out there to Colorado. I
Thanks,
ain't
brother.
the biggest Colorado fan or the biggest Prime fan, but the one thing I would say, for me personally, as a Hurricane and a football fan, I would like to see Colorado get back to Colorado, because a lot of these people hating and don't remember when Colorado used to be kicking everybody behind just as much as Miami. They don't remember that Cordell Stewart team. And the years before that, Colorado was serious. It wasn't just they was all right here. Nah, Colorado was a true powerhouse. They talk about these blue bloods, but I hate when they talk about blue bloods, because a lot of these people don't remember the original blue bloods before this Power 5 conference stuff. And a lot of them better be careful with all this realignment stuff. They better be scared to God and pray that Colorado don't get back into the Big 12, because that's when it was really hell. Because they got all their skilled athletes from right down there in Texas. And then they ain't had to worry about the big boys because Colorado breed them. So, from that standpoint, I hear a lot of fans talking junk, and they got to know they got some kind of fan up there already. So, we'll see what happens. In terms of all your haters, man, I don't know what they thinking, but if they trust the star system, not rude, they idiots.
That's what it is, niggas.
Keep going, because I don't want to.
Yeah. No, it's all good, baby. I appreciate you, dog. Hey, niggas, don't be no stranger, man. You got to come around more. Listen, we always on, even if you pop in, drop a comment. Hey, coach, I'm here with you, and dip. I get it. I really like to make sure my people's good, man.
Man, I'm good, man. Y'all boys have a good night. I'm going to go enjoy the family.
All right, now.
Appreciate you. Hey, man, we definitely got to address Surfer Boy 3000 comment, man. He said, Coach and AG, we know Coach wants to see his son in NYC at the end of the year. So if I'm the parent of the backup, we're going to, hey, man, the reality of it is this. A starter, there's no competition for anybody who's a proven starter anywhere in the country. Even when Jalen Hurts was the starter, Tua couldn't get in. Now Tua ended up when Jalen Hurts messed up, Tua got in. What I'm saying is it's a long season, and both those guys they are fighting to be the backup quarterback. The backup quarterback, is going to get, he's going to get some snaps. It's just automatic. Now, whether he's handing the ball off, at the end of the game, just because it's a blowout or whatever, we'll see. But the reality is,
at some point.
you got to give him some snaps. This is the day. You got to make sure your backup quarterback is ready to go. So, and it's nothing wrong. If I'm a kid, this is the problem. And I even, my son is a product of it as well. All these kids expect to start, and play right away. We came up in a generation where, if you got on the field as a freshman, you were amazing. It's okay to, back somebody up and to learn.
Probably elite, because it ain't too many doing it.
Right. So, I mean, it's nothing wrong with, guys getting red shirted. I think the NCAA did a tremendous job by allowing the kids to play in 4 games and still maintain their red shirt. So,
the best
I
rule
think
they
that's the
ever
best thing
came up with. The best rule.
Ever.
That's the best rule, AG. Like
Ever.
in the past 20 years, I think
No,
that is the best
ever. Best rule ever. It really is. Ever. And
the
so I
most
think
sensible, the most
it makes sense.
realistic, the most thought out, the most helpful. Any adjective you can use on a positive side. And I thought 4. I love the fact it's 4 because I thought they were going to do 2.
Right.
But 4,
that was the word on the street, and they went to 4. So I mean, that's basically like if a kid, like prime example, if a kid comes into a school, after 2 or 3 games of playing him, you'll know if he needs a red shirt or not.
Here's the best part about it: if you manage them correctly, you can now use all of those freshmen, and take them into your bowl game. If you don't hate to do that. Guess what?
Yeah.
You're not going to burn their red shirt to play one bowl game because you got a bunch of guys going to the NFL and you have nobody to fill that spot.
I had a kid, Jarvis Ware. You play. Matter of fact, your last year was Jarvis Ware. Jarvis Ware went to Mizzou. He had those 3 games. He ended up playing. No, he only played in 2 games. He ended up starting in the SEC championship and then played in the bowl game. So he maintained his red. He started the SEC championship and the bowl game, and he ended up maintaining his red shirt. Yeah,
and still got 4 years to play.
Mm-hmm. So, matter of fact, he's finishing his last year right now at UCF because he got hurt.
I got you, Chris Canes for life. You on the line? Talk to us, Chris Kane.
Yeah. What's up, Coach Hayes?
Man, you better stay off them jokes in that thing, man. Leave E. Brown alone. And he wasn't James Brown backup dancer. He was James Brown sweat rag ringer outer. That's what he was.
Hey, man, you got to put his
Fred, remember that song? How you doing, son? You feel good? Remember him?
No.
Yeah, he was the one that was saying, I didn't know you were singing, Fred. That was him. I'm telling you, he also double jump rope with Aretha Franklin too back in high school.
You got to put his comments up, man, so people can see some of the stuff he was saying. It was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. Go ahead. So talk to us, man.
All right, man. Check this out. Good evening, fellas. Coach, man. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
Wanted to let you know, basically, pressure's on. But basically, all they got to do is they went 1-11 last year. That's this man Cook. Okay, this ain't just no regular person that's just gonna just sit there like he don't know what he's doing. Now, when it comes to Deion has a certain way that he does things, and he has certain characteristics, and everybody knows how he's coming. Okay, no pun intended. But basically, what it is that give this man time to do what he needs to do. Who's to say that these guys are not going to be no dogs? Who's to say that? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that whenever they get the time to go ahead and come in, they're gonna do their thing. But you can't just have the mindset of just, they're gonna go 12-0 because it's Coach Prime. No, it's not gonna work like that. If that was the case, we would have went 12-0 with Coach Cristobal. But it ain't gonna work like that. You got to give this man time to cook. Let him get his people in. He did the same thing that we did. Only thing is he hit the transfer portal harder than ever. Instead of that, hold on, Coach. I'm gonna go ahead and get my bag and baggage clean real quick. But let me just make this one last point. As far as that, if this man wins 6 games, that's an improvement. That's a bowl game eligibility. This man and how long have they been going 1-11, 0-12, 2-10? How long they been doing this? For how many years?
Think about what he's saying, man.
I can count on both of my hands, and probably on one foot of how many times that they done went 0-12 and all this other kind of stuff like that. John said Mario used a crock pot when he cooked. I hope not. I hope the hell not. But you know what though? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Better food comes out of a crock pot when you take time with it instead of that microwavable shit. Remember that. Well, understand me when it comes to this though. Get that man time to cook. Let him see let's see how his first games go. You feel me?
Right.
Let's see what
happens.
I want to see it.
There it is.
Only way you can go is up. You can't go no lower. You can't go to the curb. You in the sewer. You 1-11, brother.
Right.
You can't go no lower. What, you gonna go 0-12? No, you can't go no lower than that. The only way is up. But let's see how far that elevator goes. But listen, I know you got other people on there, and I'm about to get ready to go, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later. But I just want to let y'all know a historical fact. E. Brown was the first real Ray Gibson from the movie of life. That movie was about him. I'm out, y'all. God bless. Good night. Go Kane.
Good night.
All right.
All right, man. Real quick, if you want to call in, do so now. I'll be locking the phone line here in about 2 minutes. I know it's a little delay. I'm gonna take these. I got quite a few in the queue. If you hang up for whatever reason, you're gonna be knocked out. So stay on in because we're not gonna be on here all night. Coach got a lot to do up in here. But anyway, I'm telling you, AG, boy, these lives be live, man. Real quick,
Yeah,
I saw a great comment, man. Family Life Football, I think right here. Faith Family Football skit. And Coach Hayes Football. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Sorry. You had a great one up here. Where was it? I just saw it. I put it on the screen earlier. Here we go. We got to give Coach Hayes some sponsors so he could do this full time at Coach Hayes Football. Man, do me a favor. Y'all clap it up for that. Man, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Yeah, that means y'all see it. I appreciate it. Y'all can see the work. It takes a lot to make this stuff happen, man. I appreciate it. And thank y'all. Let me go and get to the next caller. Shad in the back, man. All right, Chris Kane. Appreciate you, baby. Shad in the back. Shad, talk to us.
What's going on? I just got 2 questions for AG.
Sure.
I don't know if y'all can really speak on this or not, but I was just want to ask a question. Has IMG affected Florida high school football in a bad way, or has it been a benefit to, Florida high school football? And my second question is, I guess, like I've heard you say that you help kids get, ready to go to college and stuff like that. But when you have do you kind of push players, not just push players, but encourage players maybe to play like multiple positions, like say for instance, they was a running back or something, especially with the way the position has somewhat kind of been devalued over the years. Do you kind of tell a guy, well, maybe you could, maybe try to see if you could play tight end or, linebacker or, corner or something like that to kind of make them more valuable? And I'll hang up to hear the answer.
Okay, cut all that.
Great question.
First of all, let me slap him first because he don't want to be causing problems in the chat. I'll just hang up and hear your answer. Thank you. Shad, you cut it out, not me, right now. I love you, man. I got the roll. Go ahead, AG.
No, man. First of all, I'll work backwards. I encourage kids to play as many positions as they possibly can. What I do encourage kids to do is make sure that, you can't be, a 5'2" running back thinking that, okay, I'm going to switch over to linebacker. Those are the things that I definitely wish that they play as many positions as they can to make themselves more valuable. But I like to see them play positions that their size and their ability translates to for them to go into college. Also, I try to make sure the kids are reasonable about their expectation. If you're a 5'5" running back with 4.5 speed, you probably still aren't going Power 5. It just don't work like that. So you ought to be happy with a FCS school. So as far as IMG goes, I don't think it really had an effect on Florida at all. Florida's so deep with talent. You got everything down in Miami. A lot of kids that come to IMG, it probably helps them. But if you're a kid in Florida and you play football, all eyes are kind of on you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think IMG really affects. They do a great job of helping kids. As far as the kids that go there, George Hageman, he's basically the director. He's a real good brother. Played at the Cowboys. Big George, from New Jersey. But I tell anybody, I don't think it affects high school football here in Florida. I mean, IMG they don't even play in the same. They don't play for a state championship or anything like that. They play 10 games and that's it. So it doesn't affect anybody here at all.
Gotcha. Right, because again, they're not necessarily in a conference. I think maybe some of the private schools probably affect more. Like they kind of get to monopolize some things outside of maybe a central over time. But definitely, I think IMG, that's another story for another day. But first of all, I do want to say thanks, Shad, for changing up the subject a little bit, right? This ain't the Colorado show. Just like the Kane fans, this ain't the Kane show. So anyway, I do appreciate it. We are talking all topics, so don't be scared. Oh, Jesus. 0442 coming to you. I skipped somebody. 0442. Call or talk to us. You got 2 minutes.
What's going on, Coach Hayes? This neck bone calling in again.
Oh man, you got to grab your neck, AG. Hold up. It ain't neck bone. What's up, neck bone?
All right. Today I'm actually coming on some positivity. So I'm just gonna say this here. They were hating on Coach Prime. Brent was hating on Coach Prime because he has got a team that's built up already, and he consistently lose. Coach Prime was right. If he had an offensive line, a defensive line, it would actually be a better scenario for him. But there's a quick question that I wanted to get in because I know you guys will talk about it. The three deep quarterback room at Alabama, all those guys went to the NFL, and I actually seen Jalen Hurts. He played the whole season, and the championship game they had Tua Tagovailoa coming in. So I'm just saying for you guys as Colorado fans, wouldn't it be nice for you guys to have a backup that it constantly, because some games you might not be able to win, So wouldn't it be nice to have a backup quarterback to just, help you out? Because all the other positions are full. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to make some sense out of this. I'm trying to see what you guys think about it.
AG, I'll let you jump first since you probably got more firsthand knowledge than I do.
I'm a firm believer, you're only as good as your backups. I mean, I'm just a big believer in that. Who cares? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. You need to make sure that the guys who are backing up guys are pretty good. Because, in football, you one play. That's what, Coach Hayes know this. This the thing that fans don't understand. Anybody who's ever coached football, anybody who ever plays football, understand you one play for never playing that game again. In basketball, you one play for maybe getting injured and coming back next year or 2 years. You one play from literally, true story. My oldest son went to Washington State. He played corner. He started as a true freshman, first game of the season, and guess what? He got hurt in the third quarter and never played football again. And so you truly are one play away. So like I try to tell Assad, you have to love this game, you have to enjoy this game because you truly are one play away. I think that Coach Prime, and the reason I brought up Coach Staub, there were coaches out there when I talk to other coaches and they say, "Hey man, that kid was good." Same thing I've heard about Wiseman because I deal with all the coaches. Coach Prime is truly like Adam Hopkins. That kid is good. The other receivers that are on that team, them guys are good. Like, even the walk-on, his dad's a coach. I can't think of his name right now. Caleb Mathis. He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. So, you want to have that. I think the hardest thing to develop in college football now is D-line and O-line because everybody's looking for those guys. They are the most important guys on a football team. And I think, so if Coach Prime, and I tell people all the time, if he develops that, y'all better watch out because I think that he's done already a tremendous job at the skill positions. Even the backup quarterbacks, I think both of those guys are good.
So no,
the conference has been locked.
All right, just lock the number out. So if you haven't called in, you won't be able to. You could try. You just get this lock call. But no, man, I appreciate it. Any follow-ups you want to do right there?
No, man, I'm good. I think that you got somebody. Oh, my bad. Oh, you got somebody still online. My bad.
I guess we don't.
You got somebody that asked about UGA in the comments. You got somebody, and we could definitely touch on that because something big happened to UGA today. So if you want to touch on what Surfer Boy 3000 just said, we can maybe that way they can see it.
Let me see here. Coach and AG, can you talk to why you think AG has been so successful in the recruiting trail over the last 6 years? Again, I'll let you do that because we actually got 3 more callers left in the queue.
We'll make it quick. The reality is, if you've ever been to Georgia, their facilities and everything is tremendous. Coach Smart is good. It's in a great location. It's not that far from Florida. So he's probably the most fertile recruiting line because he has all of Georgia, all of Florida, South Carolina, Alabama. So he has North Carolina. He has a very fertile recruiting line. They spend a lot of money on recruiting. They definitely, they do that probably better than most. And he's been getting D linemen out the behind. Like that's what we just got through talking about. D line pretty much. If you look at national championship winners over the last 10 years, I guarantee they had a strong D line. So but as of which
we know Jalen Carter directly, don't we?
Yeah, he's from the crib. So I knew he was gonna be great a long time ago. But Smoke just left Georgia today. So Smoke was top 3. He was the number 1 athlete in the country in 2022. He went to Texas A&M, transferred back to Georgia, and now they told me he just left out today. And the sad part is Georgia is losing guys that are going to play and start at other SEC schools, and they're not missing a beat. That's how deep they are.
Yeah, that's true too. So here's whoa. So they didn't say where he's going. They just say he entered the portal. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Smoke entered the portal. Good kid. I've known him. I've known Smoke since he was like 10 years old. But he definitely left Tech. He went to Texas A&M. He was one of the kids that they got the big NIL deal. He left.
Right.
He wanted to go to Georgia in the first place, but it was a situation where Texas A&M what they were giving was a lot more than Georgia. So and like this is something too that I forgot to touch on earlier. What kids are doing now is, what? I'm gonna go ahead and go to this school and take this bag and transfer to the school I wanted to go to. That's what they're doing now. Just FYI. So
if I can, but that's my point. That's the loophole.
No, you can't.
That's what I said earlier in the show. That's the loophole. If y'all want the bigger bag, let me test it out and see. Oh, it's not what I thought it was. I'm out. No problem. No pressure.
And I can still play. Only problem now is he can't Smoke is not able to Smoke Bowie. He's not going to be able to play right away now. So he's already had his one transfer.
Second one. Yeah, second one.
Right.
All right. Well, breaking news right here, I guess. There it is. AG on the building. All right, let's go. Bishop Newkirk in the building. I see you, Bishop. Bishop, talk to me.
You know?
It is. Talk to you what?
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's shaking and what ain't?
What's good? What's good?
I got a quick.
I forgot this ain't the night shift show. I almost said something, Coach from the crib. Go ahead.
I know. Hey, I'm still watching the pot, so don't mess with me.
Oh, you the crock pot. You the crock pot cooker. Uh-huh.
Hey, just wanted to chime in. Truthfully, right now, this whole industry and the whole background of everything that's going on, it's like the Wild Wild West, and the NCAA didn't take responsibility. They threw something out there, knowing that once they threw it out there, they were trying to make sure it would fail. So that's what we got, and we have no way to wrangle it in unless we get our House of Representatives to get behind it and change the bylaws.
I agree. I think that something has to be done. I think that the NCAA was like that parent. Everybody's complaining. I tell you what, you go ahead and eat all that candy apple. You go ahead and eat all the sweets you want. So now a lot of schools are ready to throw up because of all of the stuff that's going on. And so I think the NCAA did that intentionally, because it's kind of like right now they're gonna have to get some control because it's getting out of control. The reality of it is NIL is not what it was made to be. NIL, name, image, and likeness. I think everybody's down for that. Now you got collectives. I'm basically just paying you to come to my school. It has nothing to do with you going out selling T-shirts, selling your name, image, and likeness. I'm literally paying you just to come to my school. And like if I was, I'm not trying to be funny. If I was a 5-star kid, I would go to wherever gave me the most money, and then I literally would go to the school I wanted to after after going there for I would go early in January, transfer to the school I really want to go to in the summer, and still be able to play football, and will have gotten my $750,000 and getting new money from the school I'm going to. I'm just telling you that.
And I'm gonna say this piece, because see, some people want to say, "Well, AG, that's crooked. That you shouldn't do that." Well, guess what? They'll do it to you, because guess what? As soon as you drop that ball, or as soon as you do something, they sure will turn a blind eye. That's why we talk about forget that family crowd. This is
Oh, yeah.
business. You are employee number 85, 26, 32,
Yeah.
whatever your jersey is going to be. And here's the second, to your point. If I'm a freshman coming in, let's be honest, unless you just are elite, even though you're a 5-star, that doesn't always mean you're going to start right away when you look at depth. I would come in, even if I'm barely going to play my first year anyway. And even if I do play my first year, probably not enough to burn my red shirt. So why not go there? Like you said, sit there. If
Play
you're really
spring
not
ball.
working out like I thought, right, just like not thinking working out, man, I'm out of here. Got my cash gone.
I'm playing spring ball. If I come in January, I sign my stuff. I get $400,000 that cover me to June, and then I leave in June and go to the school I really want to go to. I mean, seriously, why wouldn't you do it? I mean, everybody can say that that's not something they would do, and I would say that's not wise. Because the reality of it is, I'm not going, even the school I go to in the spring, I'm not going to play. I'm just going for spring ball. So, like, let's say I really want to go to Georgia. Let's say Alabama was offering me 500,000, Georgia offered me 100,000. I would go in January. Hey, do everything. When June came, I would go back to Georgia and probably get $150,000, $200,000 going back. So that kid has made $700,000 in 6 months. Come on now.
It is.
The whole point of
That's
going to
it.
college is so that you can better yourself and take care of yourself financially. Let's just
At
be
the
real
end of the
about it.
day, hey, whether it's with that sheet of paper or with your legs, if you can do it, make it happen. Bishop Newkirk, I appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much. We got two callers
Not a
left.
problem.
We got 2 haters left in the building. All right, we got Ebron and Old School. Ebron calling again. I'm going to Ebron first because I want to finish up this thing out with Old School. Me and Old School finna duke it out. We ain't playing no games with them. All right, slick back. E. Brown, talk to us.
Well, I had to call back because I either got a lot of followers or a lot of fans, because my name's been tossed around, and I'm singing with Sam Cooke. I'm on the Golden Girls and all that.
Hey, somebody said you was
They said he was go to girls. They said he was go to girls.
In high school.
Long as you don't call me Al Sharpton, I'm good.
So your hair slicked back like Al Sharpton, but the front like George Jefferson. Yeah. George Sharpton. That's your new name. George Sharpton. George Sharpton is your new name.
Well, Coach, you guys have been pontificating a whole lot tonight. So at least we're not doing any of the scrub talk and the nerd talk today. We did a little bit, but we're out of that. But the thing is that I wanted to touch on a couple of touch on a topics real quick before my plane crashes here. The first thing is that the NIL and the transfer portal. We know what the transfer portal is. It's just the scrub hub, and then we have the NIL, which is the name, image, and likeness. I mean, this is a capitalistic society. It's a capitalistic society, so you get an opportunity to make money. And you teach young men what it means to live in a capitalistic society. That's one thing. Now, I want to ask Mr. AG, what's his thought? What's his thought about the backups for the Colorado Buffaloes, the team that some of our PD fans are delusional about. They think they're going to go and win the national championship. What about your special teams and your second string players? Do you think your special team and your second string players can win games within this? If the first team player goes down, you think they have the ability to carry on the winning tradition or the winning expectations that you have set forth for them? Because if not, you forget about winning 6 games. You can forget about winning 2 games. You can forget it.
Oh,
So
I agree with him. We've had that conversation. The reality of it is you're only as good as your backups. I think that, that's really the key to it. Well, and I really believe that they got some good backups. That what people don't realize is Prime brought in a lot of kids, but he brought in a lot of kids for competition. So, the reality is you'll know more about this team starting August 1st. Like all these teams, everybody gets all caught up with spring football and summer workouts, but like Coach Hayes knows, August 1st is when them pads come on, and that's when you earn are you gonna play or not. My oldest son, he called me August 1st because back then he didn't go till late. So he called me after the first 2 days of practice. Daddy, I don't know if I think I'm a red shirt. I said, cool, because I was okay with it. Like 3 weeks later, he was starting. So you just don't know. But I do know one thing I do know is what the backups on, because I pay attention to the wide receivers. That room is a good room. The running backs, that's a great room. I really think the quarterbacks is a great room. Just like I said earlier, everything's going to be predicated on the offense and defensive line. If the offense and defensive line show up, I think that Colorado will really shock a lot of people this year. Seriously. I mean, people know, like even last year when you look at TCU, they weren't predicted. They were predicted to win 3 games, and they end up going all the way to the national championship game because they went in and they shored up the line and they had a couple of, the quarterback, didn't start and he had a great year. So you just never know. But depth, I agree with you on that, Mr. Brown. That depth is very important. And I think offensively, I think offensively and on the D line, they got pretty decent depth. Seriously.
All right, E. Brown.
And
pontificator.
Coach, let me touch upon the Luke Fickell thing there for a little bit, okay? When Luke Fickell took over in 2011, you got to go back in 2011. Luke Fickell had 3 things going against him. There were 3 things that he faced that caused his demise. The first thing is that he was part of Tressel's regime. That was the first thing that was going against him. The second thing is that he was 6-3 going into the last 4 games of the season, and he lost the last 4 games of that season, which included Purdue and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing is Urban Meyer was out there as a coach who was available for a football team. So he had absolutely no chance of maintaining that head coaching position with those 3 things out there and those 3 things, over his head or what have you. So I wanted to say that. Any other thing is that Coach Prime succeeding. I'm all for Coach Prime succeeding. I'm all for, the representation for the African American coach. However, but there was an African American coach at Colorado before Prime got there.
2 of them.
Okay.
2 of them. No, the last 2.
Yeah, there were always African American coaches who were there, because if Coach Prime hadn't have won or hadn't got the publicity that he got at the HBC school, he would never have gotten that position. If he was a loser,
he wouldn't have got
never gotten that position.
I agree.
Of course.
I mean, because you've always had that. You've always had the black coach who has been successful throughout the last couple of decades at different college football programs who have won, and then whatever. But when you start losing, you can forget it.
Hey, can you start with all this nerd talk, E. Brown?
Hey man, no, that's actually good conversation. He's definitely right.
But you don't know the background of E. Trust me. If you come on here enough, you'll know the background. Watch him start laughing. I know this dude like the back of my hand, bro. I'm telling you. He laughing again.
We started off a long time ago talking about the transfer portal that was being utilized by the University of Miami, Coach AG. We started off talking about the transfer portal as a building block for your football team. And I just simply put it simple. The transfer portal is a hub for scrubs. That's what it's doing. It's for disgruntled players and teams and players whose mommies and daddies have told them that, hey, you should be starting. So what you need to do is go into the transfer portal, and you're going to get in there. You're going to be in that quagmire. You're going to be in there forever and ever. Now, the NIL if you were an NIL player, you would go into the scrub hub for about 2 or 3 days, and then somebody's going to snatch you out and put you on their team. But everybody else is going to remain in that. Everybody else is going to remain in that portal until somebody like Coach Prime comes along and he's trying to rebuild his program. So he goes in there and goes, "Oh man, I need to. Oh God, I got to go."
All right, I got to cut because I got one more person in the back and we got to run. And we've been on here 2 hours and 39 minutes. So here's my thing, E. Brown. E. Brown is not talking about people who transferred and they have to go through the portal to come back out like a Caleb Williams. I don't consider those, and maybe I'm wrong, E. Brown, you correct me, but I don't think you're talking about guys like Jordan Addison who had to go into the transfer portal.
He said it though. He said it for those who weren't listening. He said, you know,
but I had to make that clear.
Right. Because some people, yeah. He
like
said
Roger
that clearly.
Dodger clearly says Caleb Williams is in the screw up because everybody doesn't listen.
Like he said, you if you're not that guy, he said you're in it for 2 days and somebody picks you up. But I will say this.
But I'm glad you listened, AG. That's what I'm saying.
I pay attention. I listen all the time. But the thing is, what he said that people don't get, most of the guys are in the transfer portal or disgruntled. But it's almost like you see people who, you know, are married and they get a divorce but they get with the next person and they're happy for 20 years. So Coach Prime is banking that his coaching style and the coaches he have would be able to coach some of these talented kids. You know, a lot of kids are leaving because they can't play where they're at. So a lot of kids, you know, or they don't like a coach. Like that happens. I'm telling you. Like I've been around this a long time. There's a lot of kids that don't like a coach. So they'd rather go play for somebody else. And then, you know, there's, you know, kids that, you know, they had like baggage, like you said. And Coach Prime may feel like, you know, him and his staff can, you know, can help that kid with his baggage. Because
you know, I'm guilty of that, AG. I had a running back like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, because I haven't met a coach yet that doesn't think that they can truly change a kid. Seriously, I haven't met like you know, and quite frankly, believe it or not, a lot of times they're right. If a kid feels like you give a damn about him, he'll run through a brick wall for you. Seriously, Coach Hayes knows that. I mean, so that's what Coach Hayes. That's what because you know a lot of kids that Coach Prime got to come to the team as transfers, especially on the defense side of the ball, they actually played. They actually, you know, we were having this conversation the other day. 10 sacks at Arkansas, that means he was productive. You know, you can't say the kid wasn't. You know, former starters at schools, they were productive. So, you know, so I do agree they're disgruntled, but that doesn't mean they can't play football. It doesn't mean they're not scrubs. That's just my only take on that.
Coach AG, you know what? I got to say this about you, Coach AG, before I go. You sound like Nuke Rodney right now. You sound like Nuke Rodney. I feel like going out on the football field and running through a wall right now. Because
hey, I appreciate it.
I don't know why you and Coach Hayes are not coaching because the both of y'all are good pontificators and you're good at what you do. And I tell you right now, if I had a son, both of you were on the team, I would send my son there to go run through the wall for you. Okay? Because
we appreciate that. Hey, I learned a new word. They pontificate. I'm gonna go tell my wife. Pontificate is my new word for the night.
Yeah, he out there with this diarrhea dissertation. That's what he doing. E. Brown got a diarrhea dissertation. That's what he doing right now. And this E. coli essay he talking. But E. Brown, I gotta let you go. Oh no! Old school hung up. Old school, you got to come back in. I'm unlocking.
The conference has been unlocked.
See, you pontificate so long, you made old school hang up, man. God, dog, you got to go, E. Brown. You got to go.
I'll get it back. Hey, listen, he doesn't have anything to bring to the table. So if I say that about him, he'll get back on the phone. Trust me.
Yeah, he gonna call right now. Old school. I know you need to call in. You know that Cricket wireless phone you got don't take call waiting. Come on with it.
Y'all leave old school.
E. Brown, I'm gone. I'm gone, E. Brown.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Appreciate you, E. Brown.
Nah, E. Brown, good people, man. And you know what I love about it? Like I said, he talks, and I get it, but I love the way that we can all work and talk. We know it's pontification, we know it's diarrhea, and we know what's real. You understand? We know that, and that's what I love about it. Real quick, old school. I need you to call back in, baby. I definitely need to talk to you, old school. I definitely need to talk to old school. I need to talk to old school.
Old school. Come on, old school. We apologize for the pontification.
Yeah, AG. I need to talk to old school. You want to know why I need to?
Why you need to talk to? Let me know why you need to talk to.
No. He. See, I like old school. I really do. Old school been a part of this show for a long time. He's from the Chi also. And he likes Colorado. He's 100% fan, and I can appreciate and respect that. But old school got a little jazzy on me the other day.
Okay.
Old school got jazzy, dog. Like I get it. Like you know how me and you could play, dog. But if you go outside the house, dog, you might go too far.
Oh, he went too far with it.
Oh, he tried to take it too far. But old school.
Wait. Where was this? Was this on like somebody else's page or was it on your page?
No, we ain't gonna never go too far on our page. But I think like when you go outside the familia.
Okay, so I got you. So you went on somebody else's page, huh? Kirby.
He tried to get greasy with your old boy. He tried to get greasy with me. I need to talk to old school. I need
to call in, baby. So I can see old school. You need to call in so I can see this 305. Because that's what Coach Hayes be telling me about his 305. So I need you to call in, old school, so we can see what's going on.
He been on here about 15 minutes. Decided to hang up. He must have had to go make some oatmeal or something.
Hey man, his woman might have told him he had to go.
I'm just saying he might be part of the them and they club. I don't know.
Oh man, don't do that, man. Them and they might be watching the show, man. Come on, man.
No, he asked me that. I asked him the same question. I'm not see. A lot of people miss the context of it. See, that's why you can't miss the show.
Okay, I missed the show. Tell me, we'll explain it because you can't just throw it out there. Now you got to explain what you're talking about.
I got number of time waiting on me. No, he had one day if I was, with the Rainbow Coalition, and I was like, "What? No, what are you talking about?" See, he like to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Old school like to be funny. I need to talk to old school. Don't run old school. Come on home, baby.
Old school got up out of here because he didn't want that smoke, huh?
Hey, he had the Surfer Boy. Tell me if old school ain't out at brand new on your boy. He be like, "Coach, I love your show, Coach, blah, blah, blah." Boy, you talking about somebody flipped the script on your boy? What? I was actually hurt, dog, because I thought me and old school was, you know what I'm saying? Look at that.
So
he tried. Yeah.
Well, I still don't know how he tried the man because I ain't heard how he tried him. So I don't know, how he tried him.
I don't want to say. I like the people who try, and I say it. I want them to tell the story so it won't be any lies or any embellishments in the story. You tell your own story.
Am I right? Dude, talking about he brushing his dentures, man. Y'all be wilding on Coach Hayes. Y'all lucky I ain't got nothing to do tonight, So I'm having a good time.
I don't know if he brushing no dentures. Trust me. I don't think he brushing no dentures. Anyway, while that's going on, we could talk real quick. I'm gonna give old school a few minutes. If not, he'll definitely be on Thursday, man. You're more than welcome to pop back through Thursday. You know what I'm saying? But I do. E. Brown drink 211 still. E. Brown drink 211 still reserved while he watched the original 18 reruns at night.
Yeah, man. Tell you, man, some of this stuff y'all be talking about, man. I'm telling y'all be wilding.
You know what? It's like a continuation of a TV show. Like it's a new episode, but if you don't watch every episode, you might miss some of the key points from last time. You know what I'm saying? I got Reggie in the building. Reggie, talk to me.
Brothers, what's going on?
What's up, man? We got to make it quick, man. Yeah, talk to me.
What's going on? What's going on, chat? I see everybody in the chat, man, from all over.
This Reggie right here.
Calling, Coach. I've been. Yeah, what's going on, brothers? What's going on? I want to jump in early, man, but got to hold things down to the job first. Got to handle business first, then pleasure. So, I was hoping that you guys would still be on when I got off. So,
of course.
Just catching up on the chat, man. And one thing I want to let everybody know, I was kind of you know how you just kind of be cruising through the streets of the YouTube streets, and then you pull up on a podcast. So I was kind of like chilling in the podcast the other night, Coach, when you kind of came through.
What you mean?
Matter of fact, I was there ahead of you. And I was listening in. I
Ahead
heard
of
somebody
me?
talking greasy, somebody that kind of drops in the part and comes through here by the name of Old School. So I was in the building. I didn't say anything. I didn't even type. I was in the
Oh, you
building.
talking about when I was on?
the
You
whole
talking about when I
show.
was on John the Liquidator show? I thought you were talking. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Hey.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about too. Old School got to get it, dog, because I thought he was my friend.
I mean, I'm telling you, I got to hear what happened. Hey, man, let the man tell me. Hey, man, because Coach Hayes ain't telling me what happened. So you tell me what happened, brother.
So this is what happened. So it all started here like it always does. And Coach is doing his Thursday show. I think it was no. It wasn't Thursday. It was I think you hopped on Sunday. I think it was Sunday.
Okay.
And Coach welcomes in everybody. Conversation going on just like we're doing right now. Your man Carpet Check, who's in the house tonight, he came through. He said, "Hey, you guys slide through here, slide through there." So he's often, say, come check in two places at once. So I was actually over there ahead of time. Coach ended his show. Coach came through, popped up in the chat. Once everybody saw that name, it just kind of like everything kind of just went to another level. So I had already been in the building to see the temperature of the room. So I was already in the building.
Right.
Coach slide through like he does, saying what's up. And it was kind of interesting how things started off. I caught the vibe too, Coach. I'm not going to speak on it, but I know you caught it too. When you initiated the communication to get invited into the.
Because I tell people like this, and I'm being honest, Reggie, not to cut you off, but I have to. I'm like Master P. I ain't talking about no man on my record. I just want to make sure. I want to just talk. And again, when I'm talking about Old School, I'm really having fun, guys. This is nothing serious. I'm not really mad at Old School. I know, but I want people in the chat to know that. I just talking trash because me and Old School always go back. I'm really not mad at, bro. It's YouTube. It ain't that serious. So, but whatever. Go ahead. I was trying to wait for. I got another call in the back. This might be him. Hold on. This might be him.
I was as shocked as you, Coach. I was as shocked. I was shocked at you the way he went about it, because even the host was trying to be decent about everything. Was trying to be cool about it, and your boy Old School was just like He's like the dude when you see two brothers having words. He's the dude in the back hyping it up.
He Flavor Flav. He Flavor Flav. He Flavor Flav.
He was hyping it up, and I'm just sitting back, and I'm still not typing anything. I was like, "Well, look at this." I was like, "Will you look at this? Would you look at this?"
I hear you, man. Let me see who this next caller is, though, Reggie. And I know you don't want to give it up because for real, I'm not talking about no man on my record.
I know.
I really finna have fun with Old School. Really, I'm not mad at all. He did get a little greasy, but it don't bother me, man. What's flies to an elephant, dog? But anyway, let me get to 2422. This might be him calling off his track phone.
Great content tonight. I just wanted to chime in and say great content tonight, man. Great
hey,
talk,
AG, this Magic City NIL right here. This Magic City NIL right here. That's what this is.
Magic City. That's Magic City NIL right there.
Down to ATL, stays at ATL.
Hey, man, I lived in ATL for years. My dad still lives in ATL, so I visit quite frequently.
That's right.
But
Reggie, I got a couple players need NILs, but Coach got to try it out first to make sure it's the right fit for them.
Yeah, man. I've never been to. I've heard they have good lemon pepper wings, but last time I went was in probably 1991, 92, and then I gave my soul to the Lord. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Lemon Pepper Deborah leaves every man satisfied. That's all I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I love it, Reggie. I love it. Reggie, matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you up when I get off this thing, man. We'll talk.
All right, man. You brothers be easy. Yeah,
all right, brother.
You too, brother. Hold it down.
2422. I'm gonna take this last call right here. If it ain't Old School, then it ain't real. Talk to me. 2422.
Hey, look here, Coach. Yeah, Coach.
This Old School right here.
I got it right this time. I ain't call you Chumpy then. I called you Coach. Yeah. Hey, look, Coach. You have me in the background for a reason. My dang phone went out, and that was God telling me, look here, he ain't gonna sit up there. He don't want to hear what you got to say. He gonna sit up there and hold you off. That was 3 hours ago when God told me that. But I said, God, I'm gonna hold on anyway. God made sure my phone went out. I said, no, God, I'm gonna go down and get my girlfriend phone and call you again, because I want AG to hear a lesson. I don't need to talk to you, Coach. I ain't talked to you enough. need to let you know some things about what Coach is. Coach set you up with that asinine question. Ain't that an asinine question you asked about the shoelaces? What is to do it? Break his shoelaces. Well, if I heard him hit that ask that question one time, if I had $1 for every time I heard him ask that question, I'd be rich.
Old school.
Yeah.
Somebody finally answered.
Okay,
So see, I decided to do how to do him. But finally, old school, somebody answered it. So that's why I have to keep answering it, asking it, AG. That's why Carpet Tech and all them, here we go. Because finally, somebody answered it. Nobody can ever answer the question, but you articulate it. I have to give my man Big Dog Chico. I have to give him credit. He did answer it as well. But you answered the AG and you articulated a point because that's how we create conversation. Anyway, well, I bet he's still talking. Watch this.
Okay, see, that's how you create communication with a test tube dummy. Not like that. I ain't gonna call. See, I can't call him names. You don't want to get it. See, this is the point. Him and the people that he be associating with, they go with that 66 thing because they think Prime is Coach Prime is 50-50. They don't want to give the respect that's respect to him. So that's why people
suffer and succotash.
He's low. Hey, look, AG. He's low key hating, high key hating. He hating all the way around the board. But it's going to change with him. See, what disappointed him when you told him that Prime might go 9-3, and I'm one of the ones that told him Prime gonna go 12-0. And then I also got a donation to his station. Right now, I suggest everybody else donate too. Of that is going to be 11-1 in the conference. So I give them that TCU game if it ain't nothing but a learning experience. If they do lose to that one, that'll be it, no more. But I'm just saying, AG, I got him figured out, AG, and people don't be fooled by him. He's a hater for real. He is a true hater. He don't like him, and the people that he associates with don't want to see Prime do nothing.
I got him on camera phone.
Look at the last 3 callers. Man,
that's old school right there. I got him on FaceTime, y'all.
AG, I'm sorry, bro. You can't convince him. I'll be trying to convince him. There ain't no convincing.
I just want to know. I want to know old school. Old school. You got to answer this for me, and I just need a direct. Why do you feel he's a hater?
Because he's looking at Coach Prime as being 50-50. You understand? He's looking at Coach Prime as being not, like you said, even with the talent, he ain't looking at the talent. He's not looking at none of that. He's not even looking at Sadu as being a capable a quarterback. But he ain't even, and you know what you killed him with? When you had told him about the snobs guy, the freshman, the 2 freshmen.
You don't even know his name. You don't even know the backup quarterback name.
Now you want to start talking. He asked me a question. He ain't asked you. Okay. When you told him about that, it was like one ear and out the other. He had already heard that before. He don't want to hear that. He said, or then he'll go back and say, well, they should have got a junior or a senior quarterback and let him sit his butt on the bench for a long time and play in front of these other guys they got there. And Sadu going to play probably the whole season like he did for the last 3 seasons anyway or whatever. So that means what, bro? That means that dude gonna be sitting whoever that is. They're gonna be freshmen sitting there. Not like that. Why you think that Juju dude didn't come up here like he did? He went to the LSU because he knew he wasn't gonna get no playing time, get no quarterback anyway. Now perhaps should do it for another year, and then he got to go against these other guys, and he know them other guys. He know he's been to them camps with them guys. Come on, man. Coach is a hater, man. Okay, can you convince me why he's not one?
I'm gonna say he's not a hater. I think that anyone like Coach Hayes said that and correct me if I'm wrong. You said that Coach Hayes said that they'll go 50, 6-6. To me, like what is that what you said, Coach Hayes? Because I heard him say you was 50-50, right?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay. Well, then my thing is this: if you look at the schedule and you look at if they went 50-50, if they were 6-6 because football's a game, that just like prime example, Oklahoma was supposed to win their conference and go 11-1, and they went 6-6. So football now, the question is now when I hear people talking about Prime is going to win 1 or 2 games, those to me are the haters, because the reality of it is this: let's say Prime starts off slow. Let's say his first 4 games he's 2-2. And the team, for whatever reason, they're 2-2, whatever. But if the team gets better, you have to learn to win together. This is their first time together. I tell people you got to give Coach Prime an opportunity to build that team. Even when he went to Jackson State, I don't think he came in and went 12-0. So you got to give this man an opportunity to win. And I think that Coach Prime is going to win. Matter of fact, I'm positive that Coach Prime is going to win. Not because my son is there. He's been a winner his whole life. That's who he is.
And then when you say that, you think when you say that, you are speaking and thinking realistically. Why you say I say the coach is hating. Coach is hating for this right here. Not only he's not thinking realistically, coach is looking at every game. He sit up there and watch, and not that he'll say that they're gonna get a win in this game, they're gonna get a win in that game. He's looking at every game to look and see, whoa, I don't want them to win. This be the game right here. This be the game right here. This be the game right here. He's hoping for that downfall. Not that he said that these other 6 guys are, because he can almost halfway tell you who the other guys are going to be. So, because sometimes they switch up. I've heard them switch up sometimes. Then I realized that he was sitting up there playing the odds. Then he matter of fact, if he came down to it and really said, well, look here, I think they're gonna go 6 games. I'll go ahead and test what they got, the odds they got going in Vegas. He won't do that. It ain't that he ain't got the confidence or not. It's just the fact that he don't want that to happen. So he can't see past that. You can see 9-3. And I ask you again, how do you see 9-3? Because you see Coach Prime beating those teams. I see him beating those teams in Utah too. And on the end, or your end result, I see him beating Utah also. Not only just TCU from the beginning, all the way down to Utah. Get in the business too. Because once they get up ahead of themselves, they ain't going to stop. And
well, the thing about the Pac-12 that's been consistent. I mean, if you look at the Pac-12 consistently, if you look at the Pac-12 consistently, those guys are the conference champions lost 3 or 4 games over the last 2 or 3 years. The Pac-12 is probably one of the more competitive. To me, the Pac-12 is probably one of the more competitive conferences as far as everybody's close to each other. I think that anybody that thinks that Prime is going to go. Anybody that thinks Prime is going to go 3-9 or so, to me, like that's a lot of hate. I think Prime is going to, the team is going to be better. They're going to, but they were 1-11, so it's they got to be better than what they were last year. But I just think that 6 is like, what's that?
Go ahead, finish your point. Finish your point.
I'll just say 6 is 6. Anybody that says 6 and 6 is.
They got to be. Let Coach Hayes tell the day got to be. Actually, do they got to be better than it was last year, Coach?
What are you asking?
He's asking you, Coach Hayes, do you think they're going to be better than they were last year?
If I say 6 and 6 consistently, repeatedly, and all the time, that is clearly better than 1-11.
Okay. You would expect at least that 6 and 6. Okay, you expect 6. Okay, that ain't hating. That's halfway. Okay, I got you. That ain't hating.
I'm saying 6 and 6 can't be hating. That's what I was about to say.
No, he's being sarcastic. He's being sarcastic.
Okay. Hey, let's go. I will tell you something. You right.
Put your damn dentures back in your mouth and be quiet for a minute. Put your dentures in your mouth and be quiet for a minute. I'll just sit there and let you talk, and I ain't say a word. I want to let y'all know, old school, I still got you on FaceTime right here. Relax. Sit back and just gum your food. Relax.
Man, I tell you, I'm amazed that guys really think that you say 6 and 6 is hate. I just don't understand that. Like from a 1-11 team, and you saying they have a 5-game improvement, and that you're hating. I just think that's amazing.
All I'm saying is, all I've said was 6 and 6. AG, I'll give you the 6 teams that they may lose to. I said TCU starting out. I go USC, Oregon, UCLA, Oregon State, Utah. Those are my 6 games that I said. And let me quickly explain. Just call it what it is. I'm not going to go through I'm not going to pontificate. I'm just going to go through a quick TCU. I just think because of experience, as they come out the gate, coming off of the runner-up from from the national championship. I know they lost a lot of people, but they still had a lot of people on that roster. Sonny Dykes is now in 2nd year. There's some coaching continuity to build off of. I know he did lose his coordinator, but there's some coaching continuity that builds off of this. You understand me? You went a long way. I just think, and you have some home field advantage. You have home field advantage going into TCU in Dallas. Again, The stage is not too big for Coach Prime. I don't know where they get that from. Coach Prime played in Super Bowls. How's the stage? I never said the stage was too big for Coach Prime, but unfortunately, he don't strap up. Right? The players have to strap up. I'm just saying it's a lot going on. That's why I said at USC, I do think they just have more talent. They clearly have more talent than them. Oh, yeah, they may not have a defense, but I still think USC just outscores them. That's how I look at it. Oregon comes in too strong with a returning Knicks, with a strong coach on the first year, winning 10 games on his first year. I just think they have a strong program. They already had the cupboard was not bare when Mario Cristobal left there by no stretch of the imagination. So they have some players in there. And now, mind you, I want to be clear. I'm not saying any of these are 40-point blowouts. I'm just saying who's winning and losing. I'm just calling it straight up. UCLA, I think Chip Kelly, in my mind, they lost some players and Charbonnet, like the running back they had Charbonnet, that was a big component. But I still think Chip Kelly is a veteran coach. This is no knock against Colorado. I'm just talking about why I think these other teams win. They bring in a freshman quarterback there, Dante Moore, but I don't think he's the deciding factor. I really think that their running core, I still think their receiving core, I think that UCLA is a game. I think it'll be close. I think probably within 7 points, maybe 10 points, but it's not a blowout. But I still think Chip Kelly has a lot of veteran experience in there, and he's been around. He understands, right? Oregon State. Oregon State is one of those games that they constantly have good teams. They go up and down, but they have good football. They have a lot of continuity. Again, that's if you notice what I'm saying, besides USC, Oregon, and when I say Utah, those are only 3 teams I talk about talent. The other 3 games I'm really talking about as you break down continuity and depth. I think Oregon State has built some depth in there. It may not be a lot of household names that we know of, but again, guys who are program guys, like you said. Like you said earlier, AG, you got games in spades that you won and not have all jokers. So it may be those things. And then Utah, of course, they've been the powerhouse here. They the sleepers. They don't have household name. It's a lot of guys that play for Utah. A lot of people can't name unless you're a real Utah fan or you just study Pac-12 football. But guess what? They come in, as all people know, they're physical. The coaching's been around for a while. They got a lot going on. They got players in there. And we know what they can do. We see them do it week in and week out. That is why I said those 6 teams, and I said it. I just gave real brief rundowns of why I said it. Now, is that the gospel? No. They could win. They could win 2 more games. They could be the Oregon State, and they could be a UCLA or a TCU coming out. I'm not saying they can't. I'm giving you reasons for why I think it may not be that way.
And that's why it's not hating, because you actually are giving a lot, even though I disagree with some of the reasons and stuff that you have. I think that, I really think they'll beat Oregon State, and I think they have a really good shot against UCLA. But and TCU could go either way as well. But I think that you're giving logical reasons. It's not like you're just saying, like you said, it's not like you're saying, oh, they're going to lose by 50. They're going to be probably the underdogs in at least, well, depending on how the season goes. But of course, if they're like 4-0, then of course Vegas is going to flip flop. But right now, if you were just to take the schedule, right now Vegas only has them for 3 games. They're saying they're going 3-9, and I think they're going to be fine with that. I think they're going to go bare minimum 6-6. That's what I believe. And so
if you say bare minimum is 6-6, and I'm saying 6 and 6,
and you're saying 6-6 is the high. Like what I'm saying, bare minimum. You're saying that.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that's what I believe it is. If they go higher than 6-6, great.
Right. I don't think.
But I'm not saying lower than 6-6. But see, hold on, that's the difference. A lot of people looking at it, Coach. You're saying 6-6 is the high. No, I didn't say that.
I'm saying
6-6 would actually be the low, because if I'm saying that they go 6-6.
So we're saying the same thing. You're saying 6-6 is, because I'm saying that's their low. I really believe that that's their low. Now it could be lower than that, if they got. But I really think that the worst case scenario with Coach Prime and what he's bringing to the table is 6-6. Now what happens, and first off, let's make sure, because everybody that's on this chat, if you could do a big favor, pray for Coach Prime and his health.
Yes.
I mean, we did all this talking, but we never talked about that. But what
I
happens?
bring it up, but people don't want to talk about that. If I say something, they be like, "He healthy right now, Coach."
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy or not, like the man has had a tremendous surgery. So just pray for him. But my thing is, let's just like what happens if Coach Prime is for whatever reason not able to coach. I think to the assistant, because one thing that people forget that happened to him at JSU, and they still won because I think
Yes.
he does a tremendous job with the coaching staff. But but it's nothing like your leader. And don't get it twisted. Them kids really, they look up to Coach Prime, and he's their leader. He's, hey, y'all done heard the man speak. Like, hey man, if I had that man speaking to me, I want to play right now. Do you hear me?
Sure.
So he has a level of confidence that by itself, this, Coach Hayes. You play games that you weren't supposed to win, especially the last part of the season when you was 8-3. You only had one kid go major Power 5, but y'all still won games. Why? Because you had a little swag about yourself as a coach, and you never believed that your team was, even the games you lost that year. I was there. The Wakava and DP, they were close losses. So that's what you're trying to explain to people, that you could have a good team and still have a close loss.
And here's the other part about TCU, why I consider the law. I did miss this piece out. This will be the very first battle that all these young men come together in truly.
Correct.
They didn't play a spring together. So because they didn't play a spring, I know you go through practices, but we all know the simulator ain't the same as the real bullet, right? We practice it against each other, so forth and so on. But if you've been around this game, played it, coached it, whatever, bro, it is exactly not the same when practice is at 3:30 every day and you talking trash to Billy before you go out there, then you got to go up against Billy every day. You know Billy weaknesses, you know Billy's strengths, you know how strong Billy is, this, that, and the third. But now
Billy,
these guys
Billy ain't trying to knock your head off. You his teammate. He
and
ain't
even
really
if
trying to kill you.
Even
he
if
can't do it anyway.
Because you've been up against him so much, you know his strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Now, so that's the other reason I had TCU. I give TCU the edge on that game, just simply because of the continuity. That doesn't mean TCU didn't bring in players. That's the only reason. I'm not. And guess what? Colorado may come in the second half the same way TCU did to Colorado last year and knock them out the box. And guess what? If I'm wrong, that's great for Coach Prime. I'm just looking at it for what it is. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Now you don't really, honestly, most people don't know. You really don't care. I mean, that's what people really don't know. I mean, I'll be the first. Like, really, you are a Miami Hurricane. Now, if you are a true Miami Hurricane fan, you win, lose, or die with them. You're a 305 Miami Dolphin fan. Miami New Orleans. You just a Miami guy. And people don't, they don't get it because they think, unfortunately, because Coach Prime, to show you how powerful Coach Prime is, he got dudes getting money on YouTube just by talking about him in his shows. And I'm talking about I'm as a parent, I don't normally even get on it because I don't really mess with social media like that. But my daughter would tell me, like some of these guys got like 28,000 views and 30, 40,000 views, subscribers. If I remember correctly, one of my daughter, because she's a journalist in the making, she said that John Liquidator, I'm thinking he's always had shows about Colorado. Found out he just was an old what they call it, a furniture salesman. That's why it's John the Liquidator. So, but now he turned his YouTube channel to Coach Prime, and now he's making money. So I mean, so that just goes to let you know how important, because people don't want Coach Prime to win. I don't think it's you, Coach Hayes, but there are like a lot of coaches. Like when you hear coaches, man, you ain't never heard coaches reach out about nobody like this, because they know if Prime win, man, if Prime win right now, like I'm telling you, if he win, I'm telling you, y'all let Prime go 12-0. See what's gonna happen. That's all I'm gonna say to you. Let him go.
The internet gonna break.
Y'all let it happen. I'm telling you now. I hope he go 12-0. Me personally, that's more NIL money. Hey, my son at Colorado, I want him to go 15-0, win everything. So I mean, y'all talking to the wrong guy. And I hope Prime. I guarantee you this: Prime will be playing for a national championship in the next 3 years.
I could agree with that.
That's the most common. I
can agree with that whole AG. I can agree with that wholeheartedly. I truly, to my heart of heart. And when you said I don't care, you're right. I don't, in the sense of
Right.
Like I don't care about what these haters say, but what I do care is about football, and what I do care is when you cover stuff. You know what I mean? But
You're
it's
gonna
not
be
like
fair. You're giving a
I'm a
fair opinion, and that's not hating. Like it's okay for hating is like for someone to say Halle Berry is ugly. That's hating. I don't care if she's not your type. She ain't ugly. Like
she,
let's don't do that. That's hating.
yeah, like you calling all these dudes. I like Carpet Tech. Carpet Tech say don't be watching no man money. Well, Carpet Tech, I need you to look in your pocket. I need you to look at my money. I need my $50. That's what I need. I need my $50, Carpet Tech. And all he says is, here we go. They don't have any context. So if you say anything, oh, here we go. Here we go. That's what I put up earlier. No, but this is the foolishness. But anyway,
But I done told you, man, you gotta let those guys have it, man, because
no. I'm here for listen. I want listen.
Do you want smoke? We want all the smoke.
I want all of it, AG. Do you understand me?
Now you petty as hell, but
They call
my
me
thing
petty.
is,
You know they call me Petty
yeah,
Pendergrass.
I know who you are, but my thing is, man, you know, when you get on these podcasts, like you said earlier, the point is you want to have fun, you want to have all that, Carpet want all the smoke, and I think you have a lot of guys that are just having a lot of fun, but I think that for someone that when you
That's
start
it.
calling people haters, that is a bit much. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I heard somebody say you were like a Trump supporter. I was like, man, come on, bro. Like, yeah, like he a Trump supporter because he think they gonna go 6-6. God, dog. Like, it's like, man, it's like people act like if Deion goes 6-6, Coach Prime go 6-6 and go to a bowl game, it's not the season he would want because Coach Prime is, Coach Prime
He's a
going want is
competitor.
expected to
He's
go
a true
15-0.
competitor.
But
Yeah.
6-6 is not a bad season because I guarantee you, that team is going to just get better and better and better. And I'm
And I
telling
clearly
you,
say 6-6 is a great record in the sense of all that he had to do, what he has done, and it's a great platform to build off on. It's a
yeah.
beautiful platform. Now, if he goes 7, that's a better platform. 8, 9, 10, the platform gets higher and higher.
Oh yeah, if he win 8 games and if he win 8 games and he ain't coach of the year, I'm telling you that's hate.
But
I'm
listen, when I
sorry,
say
that's real hate.
yeah, bro, I tell people all the time. But here's the funny thing: when I talk about fandom, remember what I did? I went to Alabama and I did the commitment for Peter Woods.
Right.
Bro, this is why I say it ain't just Colorado, it's everybody. It's Miami too, all of it. The kid called me, I came to his thing. Bro, I did his commitment live, gave him the microphone, he committed to Clemson. Do you know all the Alabama fans? First of all, I lost 1,000 subscribers from that. All the Alabama people who follow me.
Wow.
A dude told me I should not be allowed around kids because that kid chose to go to Alabama. Clemson. Because remember, he's from Birmingham, which is 45 minutes from.
Yeah.
Dude told me I'm part of his NIL deal. All I did was host a thing and say, hey, man, what school you go to? But they won't say that about 247. They won't say that about. Now, if I was a Clemson guy and I did that and he went to Clemson, I could understand the hate. Everybody know I'm a Miami dude. What difference do it make? Like, we don't play out like bro. When I say fandom is intoxicating, it is beyond ridiculous, dog. A dude told me that I should not be allowed in the state of Alabama, dog. I should not be allowed around
Man,
kids.
Alabama is different, man. Like my thing is, I already know that Alabama people are crazy about Bama football. I know that Alabama, Auburn, Ohio, Michigan, Clemson, South Carolina. Those are like some real rivalries, and so I
Yeah.
get it. He just, man, when the man, poison a tree, them people are serious about that. So, so I
But that's
understand.
it. But
I mean,
when I'm just a dude with the microphone, like, hey, so which school would you like?
but
Like, and I'm cool with like say that doesn't bother me. I just like to let you know that this right here doesn't bother me either. Like I said, the only thing I don't like, don't lie on me. That's all I said. Don't lie on me. Don't that bothers me because what happens is people take lies and then they run with it.
They
And
believe
they
it.
run with and they believe them. And so when they believe them, guess what happens?
They tell it
Now
like it's the truth.
they tell it like it's the gospel. And people, and you know what's funny? A dude will tell me, Coach Hayes, go put on the Kent State Georgia tape. You ain't watch football. That goes to show me he don't watch the channel. And I even got a playlist just for Colorado. You don't even got to search all the videos. I actually broke down the offense that Sean Lewis runs at the Kent State versus Georgia game. But see, that's people that just like to talk. I clearly broke down the tape. It's me on there breaking down Kent State versus Georgia. But they're going to say, you don't know nothing about Sean Lewis offense? You never even watched it. I've been knowing Sean Lewis since Syracuse. I've been knowing a lot of Sean Lewis. I'm just saying, I've been knowing them for a long time. But when I bring up a video, when I'm telling you, that means you don't watch it. So why are you speaking? And I've invited anybody. Nobody has done this yet. Anything I dispute, AG, I simply clearly ask you, go find the footage, screen record it, and post it. As long as it's in context. If I dispute it, if you say I said something, find the footage, screen record it, and post it. And nobody has done that yet.
Man, like I said, man, I appreciate it. I'm finna go on. My wife looking at me crazy. I'm finna go
I
on and
know.
get up out there. But hey, man, I appreciate you having me on the show. Got to do it more often. And like I said, if you need me for anything, I'm always here. But I don't
Yeah,
think you
definitely,
hate.
man. I got to get.
I think you give
I'm
good
gonna get up
unbiased.
out of here myself, man.
I think you give good unbiased. People don't understand you are a football guy. Like, a lot of guys are truly, fans of Coach Prime, which we all are. There's not a guy, nobody cannot say that Coach, if you are my age or I say from 55 down to about 40, if you wasn't a fan of Coach Prime, you wasn't watching football. So we all want him to succeed as Coach Prime. And then, he gather more fans, NFL Network, so we all want him to succeed. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, man, just keep doing your show, do all the stuff you about to do. And like, I hope that, everybody goes and subscribe.
Oh,
If you get a
definitely.
chance, make a donation, to Coach Hayes, because he does a lot of this on his own time. And hey, I appreciate everybody, that they're tuned in today. And like I say, let's go Buffs.
I appreciate you, AG, as always, man. Thank you so much, man.
All right, brother. Hold it down. Y'all be good. Bye.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna do outro and I'm out of here. Let me put them out. Yeah, man. So like I say, real quick, man, we have a good time with it. I didn't really want this to be a Colorado show. It ended up being that way. That's why I tried to have other topics, and I'm cool with that too. Like I said, we had a good time. AG, like I say, you call it what it is. And he does what he has to do. And like I said, he got his son out there playing. I wish I saw nothing but the best. Unlike the haters out there saying that I'm trying to talk the man out of Colorado. Whatever. Cut it out. But anyway. Oh, shoot. I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to look at something right quick that came up. All right. Yeah, real quick. So anyhow, I do want to make sure. Let me get this scrolling. That's what's bothering the number. All right. So anyway, I do want to make sure I like to show y'all stuff here and there. Like AG said, I could be petty. I get petty with it. I like to have fun, but also I like to tell people, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so with all that being said, I appreciate everybody. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to take care of some stuff that came up here. It was time sensitive. But anyway, with all that being said, man, I appreciate you guys. We're coming on Thursday. I guess it is prime time talk Thursday. So we're going to definitely talk Thursday. Chico, Big Dog Chico will be on Thursday, and we're talking football. I'm done with it all. If you understand me, I don't care 2 ways from Thursday. I really don't care. All right. When it comes to that kind of stuff, man, I understand people love it. Like I say, just don't lie on me. And we'll be all right, man. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the Coach Me Coach podcast, episode number 71. I got to change. I got 70 up there. But anyway, like, share, subscribe. Let's get it on, man. I got to stop doing these 3-hour god doggone lives, too. What's wrong with me, man? Peace.